Hey, Shorties. Hello, hello. Who's in the house? Kelly Steffi. She's been waiting for this one. Yes. Hi, Amber. Hi, Taryn. Sammy. Hey, how you going? Steph. Yes, she is. Hi, Debbie. Ernie Birdie. Darlene. Woo. Poppy. Hi, Poppy. Hey, baby. She pants, mate. She fucking pants. Sharon's in the house. Jen T's in the house. Did I say hi, Amber? Hi, Amber. And I saw Ernie Birdie. Boom. Welcome, Shorty. You didn't have to do that. Oh, Poppy, she's got the worst toy possible. It's the most raggedy thing. Yuck. To my neighbors who say, should they have some toys? Yeah, they've got toys. Lord. All right. So I want to. Well, so we're going to roast Plevin, obviously. Can I just say I don't normally like to make fun of people, and I certainly try not to comment on someone's looks. Generally, I say that I strive for this kind of kindness. Plevin, I don't know. He puts himself. Thanks, Darlene. So I think so we're going to watch Plevin's Closing Arguments. I've queued it up, and already. Oh, hi, Kat. How you going? Good to see you. I've queued it up. Hi, Dawn Marie. Ah, stop it. Rah. I was just moderating and listening into Aussie Insiders live, which is finishing up soon, and she's going to portal her folks in with us. But she just about 5 minutes ago, she goes, Miss Shorty's live is live in about I think she said like 10 minutes, and she goes, so she's probably rushing around like doing her makeup and shit. I'm like, yeah, right, bingo, accurate. 10:10 would be doing my makeup like till the very last minute, like putting my socks on. Hey, Kimberlita, how you going? Good to see you. Who did I see there? Dan, hey, how you going? Piers in the house. Helen. Wow. Let me just do one thing because I want to make sure that my Discord knows that we're here doing this whole thing because I think it's going to be fun. Get rid of that. Whoever's counting right now in my Discord, stop with the counting. Focus and let's go. Wait, I just always get this panic that I'm not actually live. You know, streaming delights. Here we are. No, it says we're live. Woo, how exciting. I already know we're live because Darlene said roast away. So that's exciting. I haven't even liked my own stream. Have you liked it? Make sure you hit the like, yeah? Smash it. Leave your DNA on it gently. There we go. Sorry, guys. Bear with me. I'm a fucking professional. Oh, wait. Tag out everyone. Adam isn't here tonight, but Adam did actually. He's got a date night with his best friend, go to see a band and stuff. I'm like, don't do boy things, God. We can do this. We good. We got this, right, Ernie? Right, Amber? Yes. All right. So that's done. Trigger warning: Plevin's wearing a button-down Nike shirt with like it's Nike, but then it's like it's kind of silky. But before we get going, I want to just there's something important. Hang on. So everybody knows, we all know and love Melissa Asylum, yeah? Turd Ferguson. It's a big hat. She is an AI music producer whose talent is just exponentially skyrocketing. She's got a real knack for writing the lyrics, prompting the AI to get the most amazing tunes. So, Shorties, this hasn't got a video yet. Adam, Drive Helen, will be making us a video for next time. But let me present to you, courtesy of Turd Ferguson, the Attic Dweller. One's in the chat if you can hear it.
He likes to crawl Always wrong with a dick so small. He's full of shit and upside down, full of lies, spin stories around. Oh, Plevin, he's a pervert, in that attic taking off his shirt. Yellow cottage with a dick so tiny, spreading lies and being whiny. Plevin's attic, dark and dreary, never gives up on his theory. Peeking through the yellow curtain, a heart of ice, wrong but certain. Oh, Plevin, he's a pervert, in that attic taking off his shirt. Yellow cottage with a dick so tiny, spreading lies and being whiny.
Why? It's an intro.
Up in an attic, he likes to crawl. Always wrong with a dick so small. He's full of shit and upside down, full of lies, spin stories around. Oh, Plevin, he's a pervert, in that attic taking off his shirt. Yellow cottage with a dick so tiny, spreading lies and being whiny.
Whiny.
Plevin's attic, dark and dreary, never gives up on his theory. Peeking through the yellow curtain, a heart of ice, wrong but certain. Oh, Plevin, he's a pervert, in that attic taking off your shirt. Yellow cottage with a dick so tiny, spreading lies and being whiny.
It's so good, right? Turd Ferguson. Mwah! Chef's kiss. Sammy, let me get, Adam's going to create a video to go with it, with Plevin footage, and then I'll shoot it to you so you can play it, maybe not tomorrow, but the next day. Absolutely. With credit, Turd Ferguson and Adam Drives Helen, for sure. But yes, it is genius. Hey, Gregor. Can feel the love. Hey, Stan, good to see you. Oh, Turd! We played the Turd flute. Everyone's loving your tune. Aussie raid. Hey, I think I might have to play it again if we're just raiding now. Let me, wait. Let's play it again. For those of you in the back, hear it. Courtesy of Turd Ferguson.
Up in an attic, he likes to crawl. Always wrong with a dick so small. He's full of shit and upside down, full of lies, spin stories around. Oh, Plevin, he's a pervert,
okay.
In that attic taking off his shirt. Yellow cottage with a dick so tiny, spreading lies and being whiny.
And then we'll get going. But it's too good.
Plevin's attic, dark and dreary, never gives up on his theory. Peeking through the yellow curtain, a heart of ice, wrong but certain. Oh, Plevin, he's a pervert, in that attic taking off his shirt. Yellow cottage with a dick so tiny, spreading lies and being whiny. He likes to crawl. Always wrong with a dick so
good, Ted, too good.
He's full of shit and upside down, full of lies, spin stories around. Oh, Plevin, he's a pervert, in that attic taking off his shirt. Yellow cottage with a dick so tiny, spreading lies and being whiny.
Almost there. And we'll get into it.
Up on on his theory. Peeking through the yellow curtain, a heart of ice, wrong but certain. Oh, Plevin, he's a pervert, in that attic taking off your shirt. Yellow cottage with a dick so tiny, spreading lies and being whiny.
Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Apologies in advance, chat.
We have separation.
Hey guys, how are
Hey,
you?
look at his
We
shirt.
have a cake.
Oh, what just happened? Oh, he just made it. Oh no, wait, did I do that? Far out. Sorry. Jesus.
Kate will be joining
Standard.
us in
Lisa.
a little while.
Shorty.
Lots to get into tonight. I want to.
Chat, how's the volume? Is that volume all right for you? Rage, trigger warning. So I haven't watched this. Like, I haven't watched this. The only Plevin I've watched, I queued it up, saw his shirt, and thought, "Oh, that's beautiful, mate. Good, nice shirt. I like it." But hi, Poppy. This is my first time live reacts. This is going to be an emotional support chat where we can go with each other through this. Betterow, Mr. Betterow, Attorney Betterow, said, "Okay, sounds good. Who's going to join in? Will it be True Crime Wine, Karen? I don't know. I haven't watched it. We'll find out. It's like choose your own adventure. Okay, let's go."
I made an attempt at making closing arguments.
An attempt.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm an old bartender. That's it.
Yes.
So these are amateur attempts
Preach,
at it.
Plevin.
But it's worth going over before I even play them for you guys. It's only 15 minutes. I promise it's not exciting. It's closing arguments. There's no dramatic video or anything. But I came on a little bit early just to give us a chance to look at this in case people hadn't seen it. But it's also worth going into the rules for closing arguments.
Happy birthday, granddaughter.
My understanding is the defense will be going first, and so they'll get to throw in all their conspiracy theory stuff, and then the prosecution will go. And I think the reason they do it this way is some courts allow the defense a rebuttal. So this is out of an attempt, basically an attempt to get.
Okay, attempt. Operative word, attempt. So Betterow's, Mr. Betterow, apologies, Mark Betterow, sir, Law Daddy. By the way, just going to say, not sure if any of you are aware, but Law Daddy, that's me. That was me. Me. I made that up. Just saying. Popular culture queen. What? Anyway. So I think from the jump, possibly already the most ludicrous thing about this is that, other than Poppy, is that he gave his closing arguments, his summation, Plevin, before the defense had presented their case in chief. So that's problematic in and of itself. Also notice his shirt, silky Nike button down. Cute, Plevin. Can't see his nipples though.
To give the defendant all the fairness that you possibly can. So it should be limited, I think, just as the opening word of 30 minutes, be my understanding. Arguments must be based on evidence presented during the trial and reasonable inferences from that evidence. Prohibited content. Attorneys cannot express personal opinions about the guilt or innocence of the defendant. They cannot comment on the defendant's failure to testify. They cannot refer to evidence that was not admitted during the trial. They cannot make appeals based on prejudice, bias, or emotion.
Wait, okay,
so
it's bias.
I haven't had time to research exactly what it means based on emotion.
Oh, he hasn't had time to research. What else is he doing with his life? Oh, it's a long sleeve button down. Wow, Nike do that? Okay. So can I just I'm a word nerd, right? I'm a wordsmith, a word nerd. I know sometimes it might not appear that way because I blah, blah, blah. But it cannot. You use bias and biased and deer antlers differently. Hang on, Buster. So he said biased, but it's bias in that context. Just saying. Sorry.
Emotion. I know there are things they can't do. I did a little bit of research, so you can't
A little
say,
bit.
put yourself in the shoes
Like
of
his tiny
so-and-so or
peen.
something like that. Well, the victim say. So there are some limits, but most of this you can kind of figure under common sense rules.
He's such a dick.
So I took a stab at it, and if you guys could be patient and give me 15 minutes of your time and listen to it, I would appreciate it, because then you can advise me in chat how this could be.
See, if I don't know him either, it's going to be a hard no from me. I haven't watched any of his content other than the very short amount of stuff that Katie Smith and I watched a week or so ago in another live reacts. This in that stream, I think it was then. I said I hadn't watched this and pledged that we would watch it together. So I mean, all I know is that Plevin's has some delightful nipples, some moves, and that's okay. No shaming. He sometimes takes his shirt off on live streams. Not so okay. He was free Karen Reed, and then I think when Aiden Turtle Boy called him out for something, he literally flipped. The next day, he was no longer. He was hardline. Frame Karen Reed. Well, no. Karen Reed is guilty. Obviously, she is not. She's factually innocent. So stick around for a bit, Tiff. Be fun.
Could be improved, or things that I maybe got wrong, or how you would do it. So let me pull this up for you. I posted it earlier in the day.
Also, mods, please don't drop his
X.
channel link in chat.
This
Please
three-point
don't.
turn triggered an event in the data because of the unusual nature. When you begin your deliberation,
Oh,
So
he's
I'm
looked
gonna start
sharp there
over.
too. Wait, yeah, start over. Oh, so he's
ladies and gentlemen of
pre-recorded.
the jury, it's been a long trial, and I want to thank you for all you've sacrificed.
Oh, babe, okay. Oh, I'm gonna start. This is so funny. Mr. Betterow, Attorney Betterow, did mention his unironed button down, and I was thinking, well, that Nike, silky Nike, looks all right, right? But he pre-recorded. Of course, one doesn't want to have to stumble through one's closing arguments, one's summation to such a major trial like this. There's a lot riding on this for Plevin. So, but oh, darling, bless. He hasn't got his headphones on. We can see his whole head. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's keep going. Let's hear it. I'm going to try to show Plevin the respect. Like, I'm going to try. Okay, we can do this, chat. We can do this.
I used to be here with us,
But also, we've got Plevin inside Plevin. Ah, way too much Plevin.
and our work is almost done. We now need you to go over the pieces of the puzzle we've laid out. When you begin your deliberations, I'd like to invite you to start with a few items of data that, when put together, are bulletproof evidence that Karen Reed.
Okay, wow. He's pulling out bulletproof evidentiary data. Okay.
Reed struck John O'Keefe with her SUV. The vehicle data compiled by Lexus Toyota shows that Karen Reed performed a three-point maneuver after she missed the turn onto Fairview Road. 8 minutes later, she started the vehicle in drive, then suddenly puts it in reverse, punching it.
Yes.
The accelerator was
Talk to my
suppressed
mate.
75%. The SUV reached almost 25 miles an hour, traveling 62 feet in reverse. Within this reckless act of driving, the vehicle data compiled by Lexus shows the telltale signature of a pedestrian stripe. The speed drops slightly and the steering wheel shifts. This vehicle data correlates perfectly with the data from John's phone. I want to emphasize this correlation.
I can't I can't breathe. Chat, you're hilarious. Please keep dropping those. Oh my god, this is just, oh my goodness, I'm so glad we're doing this. Thank you for being here, chat. Have you hit the like? Please hit the like button.
Because that's what makes this case not only beyond any reasonable doubt, but beyond any doubt at all. Let's tell the story. Around 12:18, Karen and John drive away from downtown Canton. They just been drinking at the waterfall and were invited to an after-hours get-together at Brian Albert's home on 34 Fairview Road. Neither of them has been there before, and neither knows the address. So on the way, John types 34 Fairview into his Waze app for directions. At that moment, it's 12:20. At this point, they're a mile away.
What's he talking about?
Not only does the Waze app track the rest of what tragically happens, but so does John's GPS. Just before 12:24, they approach the intersection of Cedar Crest and Fairview. And in the darkness, they missed a turn. So Karen corrects this with a 3-point turn. They now arrive at the intersection at the same time as a pickup truck driven by Ricky D'Antonio. Ryan Nagel and his girlfriend are passengers in this pickup. The truck is also heading to 34 Fairview so Ryan can pick up his sister Julie. Karen has the right of way, so D'Antonio lets her turn down Fairview first. It's now a little after 12:24.
Okay, so yes, you make a very whoa, Shorty. Just so long as I don't skip back. Lord, give me strength. Please, StreamYard, YouTube, look after me today. Don't let me skip back or mute myself. His mic is phallic. Did you guys see when he was there outside court for I think one of the post mistrial things, and he was there with a giganto mic and a film crew because Unsolved Mysteries were there filming with him. So very phallic, but this is his like his little chode microphone. He brought out the full big guns, the full giganto fork sword. I gotta let the dogs out, I think. Oh no, that stopped. All right, we're good. Keep going. Sorry, Plevin, I'm so sorry. I should show you some respect, sir.
As the pickup is approaching the house, Ryan texts his sister to come out. Karen pulls up just past the driveway. The pickup is right behind. Julie Nagel comes out to invite her brother into the house. He declines. So she tells him she's staying at the party and will get a ride home. No one sees John. A good brother, Ryan watches his sister return to the house as they drive off. He notices the interior light in Karen's car is on, so perhaps this is around when John is exiting the vehicle. On the dark patch of street, Nagel doesn't notice a man getting out or standing beside the SUV. But around this time, John has exited the car holding a cocktail glass that he took from the Waterfall pub. John's movements are tracked by Waze. GPS shows he never moved more than a few feet from where he exited the vehicle. The vehicle data shows Karen put the car in drive, but 3 seconds into it, she suddenly stops, puts it in reverse, and floors it. Her working alarm systems probably blare because there's an object behind her. She doesn't heed the warning. Intoxicated and in a rage, perhaps she doesn't hear the alarms. But when she strikes the object being detected, it would make a loud noise.
I think so, Colin.
2-ton vehicle slams into John at 24 miles an hour. It only strikes him on the arm, but he is holding a heavy cocktail glass, which puts a significant dent in the back of the SUV.
I mean, stop, Plevin.
This sound would be explosive within the vehicle.
Plevin,
Karen doesn't.
Come on now. Tell me. Look at his banner down the bottom. Evidence plus logic equals truth. I mean, right there is false advertising. So he's holding, it's put a significant dent. What did he say? Some gobbledygook. Okay,
doesn't break. She travels a total of 62 feet, then immediately drives home. We have to remember that the vehicle data comes from Lexus Toyota. The analysis is standard stuff. The key cycle is matched to these incidents in 2 ways. First is the odometer. The mileage from Karen's trip from the Waterfall to 34 Fairview and then to One Meadows matches the mileage on that key cycle. The second
No, Robin, if you're on your laptop, you can just go to my channel, just to the main channel page, and there should be a join button there, or Ernie or one of my amazing moderators. Could you please drop the membership link in chat? Thank you.
Reason is that the 2 events triggered on this key cycle match events known from other evidence. Data flows continuously into a vehicle's black box, but it only records when an event is detected. Then it takes a snapshot of the data 5 seconds before and 5 seconds after the event. What triggers cause an event to be detected? This is determined by the algorithms programmed into the system. A collision will trigger an event recording, of course, but also a range of unusual patterns in the data. Most key cycles record no events.
Ernie.
A short cycle with no event might not even register in the system as a key cycle. Karen's 3-point turn after missing the turn onto Fairview when she was arriving with John triggered an event because of the sharpness of the actions on the accelerator so quickly after shifting into reverse. The accelerator she hit was more than 30%, and this triggers the algorithm that creates an event. It seems she was already angry. This 3-point turn triggered an event in the day.
Triggered the algorithm, which somehow Plevin manages to trigger with his 300 or so people in his live streams. I don't know how many are there seriously being deferential and who are there to have a laugh and to troll. But anyway, carry on, Plevin.
because of the unusual nature of the maneuvers. 8 minutes later, another event was triggered, as I've indicated, and she traveled 62 feet in
Plevin
reverse.
just coughed in it
But
and
there's
interrupted
something
himself.
crucial we have to understand about this second event, and it comes from the data on John's phone. 8 minutes after Karen's three-point turn, something else happened. John's phone moved for the very last time. That was at 12:32. The health app shows the phone stopped moving at that time and did not move again until it was picked up after 6 a.m. when it was found underneath John's body.
Sir, Plevin, turn your own mic off while you are speaking and don't cough and interrupt yourself. Are we professionals or no? What, is he going to commentate on his own closing arguments? Turn your damn microphone off, sir.
When you deliberate, you'll find the vehicle evidence within the testimony of Trooper Joe Paul, and you'll find the data from John's phone within the evidence provided by Trooper Nick Garina. As you consider these things, you may also weigh the threats and intimidation that these witnesses have been subjected to over the last year. The defendant has tried to reassign blame for her actions onto innocent citizens, many of them friends of John, cruelly smearing them as murderers and accomplices to murder. We'll come back to that. I want to remind you of the testimony of Kerry Roberts, a very close friend, not only of John O'Keefe, but of the family. Indeed, it was Mrs. Roberts who drove to Braintree to pick up John's parents and bring them to the hospital that morning. Roberts was not part of the circle of friends John had made since moving to Canton, namely the Alberts. And
Wait. Live Plevin has left the room. We can see his beautiful paneling even better now. I mean, sir, what? What are we doing here? What are we doing?
the McCabe's at 5 a.m. The phone wakes Kerry and her husband up. It's Karen. She screams, John's dead, then hangs up. Stunned, Kerry waits a minute. The phone rings again. This time, Karen tells her that John didn't come home and she's worried he was hit by a snowplow.
I have never watched JD.
When Kerry hangs up, she calls the police and then the local hospital to see if someone was hit by a plow. The defense team apparently accepts this testimony as true, but they did not question it. Now, consider just how strange it is that Karen might say these things. She drops her boyfriend off at 12:30 at an after-hours party, then wakes up a few hours later at 4:30 to find he's not home. Why on earth would she believe he's dead? Wouldn't she think maybe he crashed on a couch or went to a friend's to crash? Kerry Roberts then went to the McCabe's to meet Karen so they could go look for John. Karen showed her the smashed taillight. On the stand, Kerry was shown a close-up image of the taillight taken later in the Sigh report by the state police. She said,
I mean, I think we can all agree, reality check, that so far there's a lot being stated here in these closing arguments. Again, Plevin 2, live Plevin, has left the pre-recorded Plevin room. Yeah, he'd be saying some bullshit. He'd be on his own bullshit right now. I mean, he put a tie on. Does that make him believable? No.
Said that was exactly what she saw at 5:30 a.m. The defense, again, did not challenge this. Jen McCabe drove Karen's SUV back to John's while Kerry followed. Before they went out to look for John, Karen again showed Kerry and Jen her taillight. Ring video of that is oddly missing. It could be deleted from a browser if someone knew John's email and password.
Curse away, Emma.
Also strangely missing is video of Karen getting home at 12:36. Karen's strange behavior continued inside Kerry's SUV as the three women went searching.
Do you think he believes it? Maybe he's convinced himself, Debbie. I know that he did flip literally overnight from hard free Karen Read is innocent, to this bullshit. But do you think he believes it? Maybe he has to believe it. He has to back himself. I mean, if he's a narcissist, I don't know. I don't know him. I don't know Plevin well enough. But the Plevin and the Plevin on the screen at the same time makes me feel like maybe a little bit of narcissistic tendencies. He doesn't own an iron, though, that's for sure.
Searching in the blizzard for John. Karen sat in back, perched up front between Jen and Kerry, screaming, asking if she could have hit John, insisting they go to 34 Fairview. Kerry and Jen rode in stunned silence. As Kerry's SUV beat a path through the snow down Fairview, nearing 34, they could barely see through the blinding snow. Kerry sent a final call to John. Suddenly, near the property between 34 and 32, Karen screamed for them to stop. She threw down her phone, which continued to call John, and left a voicemail. She slammed open the door, screaming John's name. Carrie watched Karen, confused. She saw Karen running towards a mound of snow. Only when Carrie started cleaning the snow from John's face did Carrie understand that this was her dearest friend buried in the snow. Again, the defense does not challenge any of this testimony. Soon the scene was
wait, there's a
crawling
jump
with
cut
first
there.
responders trying to save John's life. Four of them have testified.
Plevin did a little jump cut. Did we see it? It was just a little moment. I wonder what he said. I wonder what he edited out. Maybe he had to cough. Look how rivet. Look at him on the live Plevin. He's riveted. He's like, this is fucking great. I killed this. Aced it. Man. The Commonwealth are going to ask me to come and join their team. This is amazing. I am amazing. My mom is going to be so proud. Maybe she'll give me a new attic. I'm not sure.
That they heard the defendant say some version of, I hit him. Sometimes the heart speaks before the mind can stop it. Now, there's much other evidence to tell us this narrative. The taillight pieces were found in a linear spray pattern consistent with a strike. The victim's DNA was found on part of the taillight housing. One of John's hairs was found on the back of the SUV. Microscopic taillight pieces.
He used to be a bartender, by all accounts. I think now he just likes to be a grifter and call other people grifters and call other people out on their one-trick pony channels. But Plevin, sir, show me your other content. Show me any content that is anything other than ragging on Karen Reid and hating on Turtle Boy. There is nothing else. He's a grifter. Class A. But he pays himself, I think. His sock accounts pay himself.
Pieces were found within John's clothing. The taillight pieces found at the scene were largely reassembled into the section missing from Karen's car. A piece of cocktail glass matching the one found near John's body was found.
No, it didn't. It didn't. Wait.
There's one last piece of evidence, something that's almost too painful to.
Plevin, he loves that bit too, except that's a lie, Plevin. Evidence plus logic equals truth equals lies when they come out of Plevin's mouth. The cocktail glass didn't match. It didn't match.
Consider. Before I get to that, I have to address the elephant in the room.
You!
This defense team began by telling you the defendant was framed, yet they presented not one iota of evidence for that. On the contrary, we've seen through a long parade of highly credible witnesses and through the timelines indicated by the evidence that such a wild conspiracy, more than highly improbable, actually was impossible. Now, why would the defense have promised you that then? The reason is because they had no choice. The evidence against their client is so airtight that the only way they could oppose it is by suggesting some kind of massive conspiracy, one that would need to involve many professionals and private citizens. But in choosing that path, the defendant and her team have chosen the path of cruelty. The people she accuses of killing John, of intentionally leaving him out to die in the cold, and of then covering it up, were his friends, his neighbors, the parents of kids that were best friends with the children he was raising. These innocent people have suffered threats and persecution because of the smears put out by the defendant and her employees, all in a desperate effort to avoid responsibility for her actions. Let's take a moment to consider some of these smears.
Oh,
They suggest that
smears, you say, Plevin? I think we're taking a moment right now to consider these smears, but they're smears coming from you, sir. Goodness gracious. Hi, Buster. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that hair, chat, right? Amazing. Superpower hair. Superpower.
a premeditated attack took place on John.
Wow, yes, it did.
Who knows? Something about John's lawn. The conspirators, they suggest, decided to bring John back to their own home for this attack.
Yes, Jennifer McCabe, you're coming with me. You're coming with me. Where are we going? It's a surprise. Higgy in the bar, in the waterfall, pointing at John. John shaping up. Come on now, Plevin.
They for some reason invited their daughter home to witness the attack. They knew their anxiety-riddled son was home celebrating his birthday with young women that were his friends. They brought in their 17-year-old nephew for this absurd plan. A large German shepherd mauled John, they say, despite no evidence of a mauling. John couldn't have fought back since there's no abrasions on his knuckles. But the defense wants us to believe that when Matt and Jen McCabe left the house that night, they understood that John was clinging to life inside the house and that the conspirators intended to leave him out on their own lawn to die in the cold. The McCabes, of course, would know full well that such a plan was incredibly likely to be executed.
Oh, look, someone sent him a stupid sticker. What the fuck, Wicked Uma? What's wrong with you? Wicked Uma. $5. Reality check. Anyway, we're doing the series of like the lesser reviewed witness testimonies. I think I might do Ashley. Ashley is one of those. I know we've spoken about Guarino ad nauseum, but I'd like to review his testimony. We've got Julie Albert on Thursday night. Julie Albert, we need to talk. She'd be chewing gum and bringing frozen donuts. But yes, I'll add it to my list there. Let's review what she said, because there was so much that was it's just a lot. It's a lot. That trial was a lot. There's so much still to work through, right? Yikes.
Exposed.
Yes, Bussy.
The medical examiner would find clear evidence of a mauling by a large dog. They'd find evidence of a beating. A witness might see them drag John out. And the McCabe's would know that one of the other 9 witnesses was likely to talk. Among those witnesses were 23-year-old Sarah Levinson and Julie Nagel. In fact, the McCabe's were giving them a ride home. So as the McCabe's drove home to their 4 young daughters, they would have a decision to make. Go to the police,
Kelly,
or face the very likely prospect of spending much of the rest of their lives in prison, since surely such a plot would never succeed.
the
defendant wants us to believe the McCabe's dropped off Levinson and Nagel, then went home, kissed their girls goodnight, and went to bed. And while in bed, Jen communicated with a girls' basketball coach who had invited their daughter onto the team. Jen looked up the league online. She played a music video. And oh yeah, she calmly searched for how long it would take for her friend to die when they put him out to alive for some reason onto their own lawn. The defendant knows this didn't happen. She had asked Jen to make that Google search while they sat in the squad car, while the paramedics were trying to save John in the ambulance. In fact, a short time later, Karen also asked a paramedic on her own ambulance as she was being taken to the hospital for observation the same question. By the time Karen called and woke up Jen at 5 a.m., she knew her taillight was broken. In her mind, John was dead, and she turned to Jen to help search for John. In gratitude for...
Third, I deliver you the wrench. Please use the power wisely and swiftly wherever needed. Thank you. My newest member of the mod squad, Turd Ferguson. Mwah, love your face.
For that help, the defendant now wants us to believe Jen was some kind of villainous mastermind. The cruelty of that betrayal is not something we should ever forget. Neither is the cruelty of fingering a 17-year-old high school girl, now a college student with her life before her, nor a 17-year-old high school boy, now a college student with his life before him. She's also pointing the finger at the young women, Julie Nagel and Sarah Levinson, who were inside the house and would have heard a dog attack and a fight and would have seen John enter the house. She's pointing to the young man who has anxiety issues.
Excuse me. Did you see Juliana Nagel's testimony? She was belligerent, rude, and referred to Adam Lally, or Mr. Lally, as Lally. Yikes. Sarah Levinson, so very clearly traumatized, so very clearly medicated.
And on whose birthday this happened.
Yeah, baby Brian.
A young woman with an unblemished record, at Nicole, and the 2 decorated law enforcement officers in the house. In order to try to convince us she didn't do it, she has to say they did do it. In order to save herself, she's willing to falsely accuse innocent people who had only offered her friendship and acceptance, who had invited her into their home and into their lives. These 9 weeks now, we've all been here together, united in tragedy, the community divided, the lives of the witnesses irrevocably damaged.
But also, OB, he hasn't muted himself. I think I don't know why, but he's coughed a few times with his mic on live Plevin, not pre-recorded Plevin. So, weirdo.
A brother lost, a son, a father to a nephew and a niece. I want to leave with you one last heartbreaking piece of evidence. After dropping John off, Karen leaves these voicemails for John.
John, I hate you!
Oh, I didn't know that was coming. I hate this.
John, I'm here with your kids, and nobody knows what the you are, you pervert.
Wait, trigger warning. I didn't know this was coming because I literally haven't watched this. So this is, I mean, Plevin, you're a fucking idiot. And I mean, that's all. Period. Full stop.
Yeah, it's 1 a.m. I'm with your niece and nephew. You pervert. You're a pervert.
Ooh.
John, I'm going home. I cannot babysit your niece. I need to go home. You are using me right now. You're another girl sleeping next to me. You're a loser. Yourself.
So at that time, she believes John is cheating on her. Maybe she sleeps for a few hours, waking up around 4:30. However, by the time she calls Kerry Roberts at 5 a.m., she tells her John's dead. She says maybe he was hit by a plow. What changed? She went to sleep thinking John was hooking up with another woman, but woke up, and then by 5, she now thinks John is dead, perhaps hit by a vehicle. What caused that change of thinking? Her damaged Lexus sat in the garage. When she called Jen McCabe at 5, she mentioned her taillight was broken. Was she at that time putting together what had happened? As Karen was making those calls, John was lying under the snow, clinging to life.
Thank you, Kelly, for the super chat. His video today somehow showed up in my feed, and he's talking ish about the Free Karen Reid movement. I mean, so we put that on our live reacts. I won't watch it. We'll watch it together, and we can be an emotional support chat together. Have a bit of a lol. But thank you for the super chat, Kelly. That's awesome of you. Thank you.
Who can say what awareness he had? But he was dying of hypothermia and desperately needed to be brought to a hospital where he might still have been saved. Had an ambulance been called then, he would have received help 1 hour earlier.
Exactly, Plevin. Exactly.
5:18, surveillance from downtown picks up Karen driving in the direction of 34 Fairview. She was about 5 or 6.
Somebody sent him, not a bot, sent Plevin a $20 super sticker. God, maybe I should lie more. Do you think? Would I be a proper grifter if I lied? Like lie more. I don't lie. Who'd you time out? Did you actually time out OB? Please don't. Oh, Turd, what have I done? No, I love you. Time out whoever you like. Be careful, chat. Turd is a wrench-wielding wench. Yikes. $20. I reckon not a bot is, should say, not Plevin. Yikes.
We're 6 minutes away. At 5:23,
wait, that's an Australian $20.
She leaves John a final voicemail.
John, look at you.
Around 5:30, Lucky plows Fairview one last time. Karen arrives at the McCabe's at 5:35. Shows Kerry and Jen her busted taillight. Insists they drive to 34 Fairview to search for John.
Did she though?
But Kerry and Jen want to return to One Meadows to see if John came home.
Yeah, Plevin, because Kerry and Jen are more likely Jen and pulling Kerry by the fucking dog leash because she's a little minion. They wanted to stall because Hoslong to dying cold, we need as much time between when Officer John O'Keefe's body was put out on that lawn and finding him to make sure that whatever that search result showed did the trick, right? Karen wanted to go back to 34 Fairview because that's the last place she left him, right? Plevin, sir?
And to return Karen's SUV since she's still intoxicated. Still, John somehow clings to life under the snow. Just after 6 a.m., with Kerry driving, Karen spots something buried in the snow that the others couldn't see. Finally, after 5 hours, help has arrived for John.
Yes, they
but
made
it's too
sure.
late.
I mean, what am I doing here with my life? Oh, it's over. It's over. Wait, is it over? Oh, Plevin just realized he's over. Okay. I mean, yes, 5 hours. It was too late by design. Let me see what's going on in chat. Oh no, wait.
Hey guys, thank you for
oh, he's so proud.
Listening to that. Appreciate it.
We listened, Plevin. We roasted. We probably will listen to it again. Let's have a little palate cleanse because honestly, I feel dirty now. But listen to this, yeah. So this is Third Ferguson, right?
Up in an attic, she likes to crawl. Always wrong with her dick so small. He's full of shit and upside down, full of lies, spin stories around. Oh, Plevin, he's a pervert, in that attic taking off his shirt. Yellow cottage with a dick so tiny, spreading lies and being whiny.
Whiny.
Plevin's attic, dark and dreary, never gives up on his theory. Peeking through the yellow curtain, a heart of ice, wrong but certain. Oh, Plevin, he's a pervert, in that attic taking off his shirt. Yellow cottage with a dick so tiny, spreading lies and being whiny. Up in an attic, he likes to crawl, always wrong with a dick so small. He's full of shit and upside down, full of lies, spin stories around. Oh, Plevin, he's a pervert, in that attic taking off his shirt. Yellow cottage with a dick so tiny, spreading lies and being whiny.
This music is by our very own Turd Ferguson. She wrote this in a I feel like not a frenzy, but in a flash, and got it to me. There is a video that apparently is in my inbox as well. Sorry, Turd. And then Adam Drives Helen is going to create one. So let's just finish the rest. But acting so whiny with a dick so small and tiny.
Plevin's attic, dark and dreary, never gives up on his theory. Peeking through the yellow curtain, a heart of ice, wrong but certain. Oh, Plevin, he's a pervert, in that attic taking off your shirt. Yellow cottage with a dick so tiny, spreading lies and being whiny.
Whiny. Almost over. Yeah, Anthony, I had unfollowed or maybe blocked Plevin right back at the start of trial. I blocked him. I never followed him on Twitter. And then recently I decided to unblock him because I've also invited Grant Smith Ellis to come on my channel. Tal actually said he'd think about it, and I believe him. I will I will extend the same invitation out to Plevin. I feel like he's probably watching right now. I'm surprised Jeff Williams, one of his mods, isn't in here right now. So yeah, great song, huh? Turd Ferguson, love your work. The man has his own song now. I think he'll probably wait. This is my channel, so I can say this. Do you think maybe he might get a hard on for that, talking about his dick? Maybe not. He might use it with his, who was it before? AJ, maybe Reality Check said something about his lotion. So we'll watch a little bit more of this, and then shall we see what he's saying about the movement? Because you know what, Plevin? Fight fire with fire. Maybe he'll do a live reacts to me. That'd be cool. Like, you know, you made it really. If Plevin decides to roast you, roasting him. Imagine that'd be 3 Plevins. That'd be when it was live Plevin and pre-recorded crippled shirt Plevin, then me, then Plevin. That'd be too much Plevin. And then we got live reacts to him live reacting to me live reacting.
I don't know if it's a good way to do it.
No, it wasn't.
When I was looking into this,
babe, it wasn't a good way to do it because you are, for starters, facts not in evidence. Thank you, AJ, so many times. Also, you wrote and presented this before the defense had, presented their case in chief. And also, you didn't turn your mic off while you were playing your own presentation, so you coughed like 3 times. Just saying.
I kind of had a little bit of an insight going over the voicemails. Maybe you guys agree with it, maybe you don't.
No, we don't. We don't.
So when you look at those voicemails, this is what I included in the ending here. So in the voicemails she left after 1 a.m., it's clear what's in her mind is she thinks that John is hooking up with someone else.
Okay, wait.
Understandable. That's what.
Wait, Patricia, was that the one where he had his gigantophallic microphone, even bigger than the one there? That's his chodophone, but he had his giant penis, furry, and his nipples, his moobs. You saw? Do you need me to send you some BetterHelp vouchers to get yourself some therapy after seeing him in person?
Happens with couples in a fight like that, right?
Right. I don't know, Plevin. Would you know? Have you ever been in a couple?
She calls Kerry, she's no longer thinking that. Now she's thinking John is dead. What happened? What new information came?
Hi, Plevin. Mwah, mwah, mwah. One's in the chat if you think Plevin's going to be watching this.
When she woke up at 4:30. What new information did Karen have where she went from thinking that John was cheating on her and hooking up with someone to now she thinks John is dead, maybe hit by a plow, hit by a vehicle? What changed? What new information did she have?
Sorry, King. Sorry.
And we'll never know. But what seems to me might be the case is that she woke up, realized John wasn't there.
I think we're going to need to get Turd Ferguson to make an actual album, a la Aussie Insiders album. I will have a video to go with it in the next little while, day or three, Anthony, and then you can do whatever you like with it. Send it to Plevin. Yeah, go for it. It's a good one though.
Maybe had some vague memory of hitting something.
Yeah, John's car, you idiot.
At her SUV in the garage and saw the damage. There's a lot of damage. It's more than just a taillight. And then she knew. Now, we can't argue that to the jury. All you can really do is lead them a trail of breadcrumbs and see if they want to connect the dots in that way.
JLO is disgusting.
But something about that call to Kerry.
One's in the chat.
Really, really sticks. It's never made sense to me why Karen would wake up 3 hours after dropping John off thinking that John was in trouble. I mean, it's just the normal thing is to think that your boyfriend's hooking up or he's crashing on someone's couch or something like that. That's just the normal thing. But to wake up thinking now...
Okay, what does this go? Wait, we have to look at this. Wait.
That John's dead. But yet she wasn't thinking that.
Strong work, Kevin. Oh.
Now, how does this impact the second degree charge?
I don't know, Plevin, how, but wait, look, Scott Robertson loves this guy. You know, my brain saw Scott and thought, oh my God, Scott McGinnis is sending him a super chat. Strong work, Plevin. I hope Lally comes close to this. Yeah, that's awkward. Maybe Plevin should have done Lally's clothes because that was some foresight there by Scott Robertson. No, Lally did not, but still. Lally did put some lies in there and added facts not in evidence, so they must have gone to the same summation school.
Well,
it
exonerates, it's exculpatory only to the extent that it shows that
clam jammer.
When she got home, she didn't know what had happened. However, by 5 o'clock in the morning, when she called Kerry, she strongly suspected what had happened. That's why she was screaming. That's why she woke up the niece. Now, at that time, John was still alive. And had she called 911 at 5 o'clock and had them go to 34 and look for John, and had they found him, John would have been at the hospital 1 hour earlier.
Yeah. Again.
Now, I don't know if he would have lived.
Plevin.
But he might have.
I'm sorry. The funny thing is that Plevin keeps betraying himself. I can hear cats fighting. Fantastic. They get the cats in the neighborhood can hear Plevin and they're like, ah. He keeps saying these things in his argument, in his his receipts, I guess. And yes, John, 5 hours out in the snow, obviously. And yes, Jen and Kerry did want to go to One Meadows, not 34 Fairview first, because they were dragging it out. They knew. Maybe Kerry Roberts didn't know. Still on the fence about that. I think she was a useful idiot, a useful wannabe mean girl, finally included in the circle. Plevin, sir.
She didn't do that. She didn't do the right thing.
No, Jen didn't. No,
She
not
went out
Karen.
looking herself. Now,
Jen.
did she see John ever in the snow? We don't know. The only evidence that we have of that is the fact that Kerry and Jen couldn't see what she could see. She saw something buried in the snow, and Kerry couldn't see it, even though she was sitting right there. Kerry described it as what she saw Karen running towards was a mound of snow until she saw basically Karen start cleaning him off. And then she's, oh my God, that's John.
Sure.
Now, is that evidence that she knew? We don't know. It's
Ask
not
you shall
conclusive,
receive, Taryn.
but it does, when you piece it all together, give us a way of looking at this case.
1.5.
So what was that phone call, that last voicemail that she left at 5:23? It seems to me that what she is actually saying was, John, where the fuck are you? Well, where was she when she left that voicemail? 34 Fairview was about 5 minutes away from where she was last seen on surveillance, but it's also a blizzard. She's driving a little bit slow.
That is a bit
was she pulling up to the house and calling and looking?
1.5.
No, we'll never know. But that seems to make some sense to me. That at that point, when she's leaving that message, she's actually looking for John.
Oh, Mazza,
now, we'll never know if she found him. All we have is the fact that later on,
in the house,
she was able to spot John in the snow when the others could not. But we do know that when she got to
ahead.
Jen McCabe's, she showed
guys.
both Jen and Kerry her broken taillight, and she was saying, we have to go to 34. She had 34 Fairview. That was what she was zeroed in on. So if she knew John was there, she left him there for more time under the snow. Again, we'll never know. But we do know that Karen backed into John. At that time, the vehicle...
There's a lot of sperm talk in the chat, and I'm not mad about it. Plevin does like to bring in very phallic apparatuses, microphones. So it's only natural that when he looks like a dickhead, he talks like a dickhead, he acts like a dickhead, and his microphones are like dicks. Sperm is going to enter the chat. Bingo.
The vehicle data matched with the phone data makes it bulletproof. There's no other conclusion. It's not just it's beyond a reasonable doubt. It's beyond any doubt that that's what happened. Now, everything that happened, we don't know. What she knew when she went home, we don't know. What she found when she got up at 4:30 off the couch, she said she slept on the couch. We don't know. And we'll never know. We'll never know a lot of those things, but we do know that Karen struck John. Now, the reason I thought to construct my closing argument that way, it is admissible to talk about the witness intimidation because it was raised during trial. We can't go into any more details than what came up in trial. So you can only kind of reference it. But they also are seeing this in the trial as her defense team tries to suggest that the two Bryans were planning to attack John at the waterfall. And that's what that play fighting is. So that's admissible. That's an accusation there, really. The defense team, when they questioned Jen, made it seem like she was trying to separate Karen from the pack. So you're going after a witness right there. They try to suggest, obviously, things like the 227 search. The idea that John went in the house and went up and downstairs and all the witnesses are lying about this. All that stuff was brought out by the defense team. So to me, it's fair game to direct at this in your closing arguments. And it's important to remind the jury what's at stake. Because the jury watched these witnesses come in and saw that they were all regular, normal, decent people, from firefighters to cops, to people that have been inside the house. Friends such as Sarah Levinson and Julie Nagel.
Oh, Scott McGinnis
Their
is
lives
in the
have
house.
been upended. That's come out. It's fair game to address that. And it's fair game to remind the jury that that's what's at stake. They may be reluctant if they're not completely sure that everything was airtight.
Let me check.
They may be reluctant.
Let me check.
To want to come up with a guilty verdict.
Terrifying. How do I do this? Get out of exit small screen. I mean, wait. Exit full screen. Yes. Well, it's got 229 likes. Not me. 4,000 views. Interesting. Dirty pause on Plevin. Sorry, not sorry, Plev. 4,000 views, Lordy Dordy.
To point that stuff out.
Give us strength. We're adding to it.
Whether that's effective or not, I don't know. I don't even know if it's legal. It seems to me it is, but again, I'm not a lawyer, just an old bartender. So
haven't played
let me look at comments. I think Kate will be here in a few minutes, and let me see what you guys are saying. If you think I messed it up.
I think you messed it up, Plevin. Absolutely. On so many things. You didn't even iron your shirt, son. Gosh, didn't mother iron it for you? What am I looking at here? So at thank you, Michelle. So at 1:15, it's clear she thinks he's out hooking up. 45 minutes afterwards, she intentionally mowed him down. Does he realize what he even said? I mean, I feel like does he realize what he even said is an all-encompassing statement when it comes to Plevin. But yeah. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. Plevin. 10 drunks in a bar.
Put on Maureen's comment.
Oh, here you
So
go.
the mens rea of the defendant is intent to kill, intent to inflict serious bodily harm, or act with an abandoned heart. In other words, reckless conduct, lacking concern for human life. So it would be the last one that is really the only way to get second degree here.
Well, Plevin's a lawyer.
I think
though.
second degree is pretty unlikely at this point
Yeah.
with the jury. I don't know what you guys think.
Oh.
I think it's pretty unlikely.
Interesting. I think second degree is pretty unlikely with the jury. What do you guys think? Well, Plevin, I respectfully agree.
Aggravated manslaughter, DUI manslaughter, those are serious charges. And I do think the judge, if Karen was convicted on that, is going to weigh all of the other things surrounding this trial. The blaming the witnesses, the blaming innocent people, the circus that was created. I think she will factor that stuff in. So I'm not trying
Mia.
to, I would in no way ever criticize Adam
Thank
Lally.
you,
I mean,
darling.
I would criticize decisions, but not.
That's so cool. Who got the memberships? I'm so far behind in chat. Oh my lord. Here we go. Nonna Robin got one. Yay! Jason Smith, awesome. Kim Robertson, Catherine W, and JD. Sweet. Thank you, Mia. That's so sweet of you. I appreciate you so much.
You know, I think Adam Lally has had to shoulder an incredible load here. He's mastered the details of so much here, from the forensic data to the medical stuff to each witness. He's had to question each witness. I mean, it's just incredible what he's had to shoulder here. And
I have no idea, Kelly.
It's you know, to think that our public servants, he works for the public, was willing to take that on. In those terms, I respect him and I'm proud of him, and he's super intelligent that he was able to grasp.
Isn't it, Karen?
If I had any criticism, though, it's sometimes I believe he's so overwhelmed by the burden of the information and the details that occasionally he loses the forest through the trees. And I believe the the prosecution has made a mistake here. So I don't even know that was Lally's decision or maybe it was Morrissey's decision. But the focus on the voicemails is a mistake in my view. I believe if we lose this case, it's not going to be because of what the troopers did.
Want me to read the comments?
Because of decisions made by the prosecution.
That's a good idea. Wait. Why not? Let's see what his little
you know, it's hard to say that.
sock puppet accounts have got to
that's
say
what I believe. I believe.
Himself. Hang on. How do I do this though? Bear with me, chat. Lol. So, I mean, we could do top chat replay. Oh no, wait. Why isn't it? No. Wait. Where are the comments? Oh my goodness. I'm a professional. Okay. There's 240 comments. What do we got here? Number one, Kevin. So, do you think the two experts from ARCA are lying? What did Plevin say? Not lying, but they didn't have all the information beforehand. And the reply was, did the physics change? I'm going to be clicking likes on some of these. Thank you so much, sir, for your service. Ideally, you would, Jimmer12911 says, ideally, you would wait for the defense to rest before you give the closing argument. I'll give that one a like, yes. Katuran says, I would pay top dollar to see the look on your face when the jury finds Karen Reed not guilty. Well, that didn't happen. That's awkward. But, I mean, it did. Okay, that's a lot of words in my brain. Let's not forget the following, including Karen Reed was aged 41 at the time, highly qualified and a very intelligent, assertive and forthright person. I say such a good one. And having legal representation. That during the bail hearing at the Stoughton District Court on February 22 said David Yannetti represented to the court that Karen lacked any criminal intent in the motor vehicle accident. Oh, that's a lot of words. Let's go with the short ones. My brain. Okay. Latina says, talk about changing stories. Proctor lied and said he picked up Karen Reed's truck at 5:15. It was really 4:15. Throwing out phones, screenshots, never handed phones over. Please, those murderers are done. Bravo. Well, that will never happen. I don't know. Okay, that's a lot of that. Oh, Elise F00 said, agree with your perspectives. Thank you for your honesty and integrity. Great work. That's going to be a no from me. Is it not logical thinking? How can there be no bruises on the arm? To think otherwise cannot be common sense. Black box data can be misinterpreted, for example, hitting the curb. Yes. And then Kath Booth, 1980. Bravo, man. You know the ARCA guys are going to totally destroy Trooper Paul's accident theory, right? Yeah. And then Rayara's mum says this is insanity. Yes. Hard yes. Oh, look. Boss Life Beauty said, okay. Outstanding closing arguments. You have been the voice of reason throughout the whole trial. So nice to have a group of like-minded people to go over things, especially when the truth and the facts don't lie. What bothers me the most is how anyone can blame other people and see them suffer. This bothered me from day one. Yeah. Okay. Great show. I appreciate you calling out the corruption. Wait, what? What? I feel so bad for all of Karen Reid's victims. I'm sorry, what? I am very disappointed in Vinny's coverage on this case as well. I sure hope the jury gets it right. Same, Doreen, same. Down check for me. This is hilarious, says Marina Bangs Viking. This is hilarious. Mark Betterow always promotes Kevin's closing arguments to me, and anyone can use it as a newer Monty Python series. It is a real treasure, yes. Okay, we'll just do one more. Kerry Roberts' testimony clearly states that it was Jen's idea for them to go to Fairview and not Karen's idea. Bravo. Okay, bye. Oh, no, one more. You okay? In all caps? I can't. Laugh, angle, like crazy laughing face emoji. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 2 clowns. Yes, funny, right? Hang on, let's go back up here. Wait, I'll come back to chat. Where do we go? Let's just play this a bit more because we miss his voice.
The police
now
more or less did their job and managed to obtain the evidence that was needed. There were mistakes. There are always mistakes in every police investigation. But what
am I doing with my
this was the key evidence was that data. Jen Coffindaffer likes to say, I'm a bricks and mortar guy, but
Coffindaffer.
And I don't know if this is exactly what she means by that, but this is how I would interpret that.
Let me get down to the bottom of the chat. Sorry, I missed so much.
Softer evidence, such as witness testimony. Those things, the problem with them is they're open to multiple interpretations, right? So you could look at Karen's voicemails and you could draw.
I mean, we could really go line by line, right, Furious, and just pick this apart. He is just a mass of contradictions, hypocrisy, and gaslighting, right? Thank you so much for your super chat. Wait, he just said Lally focusing in the VM was a mistake. Oh, VM. My brain. Yep, Plevin put them in closing. Yeah. I mean, the fact that Plevin did a closing, right? What's going on here? What's he even doing with his life? But here I am. But then again, here I am sitting in my kitchen roasting Plevin, so that's awkward.
But it's open to interpretation. And same thing with the witness, what witnesses heard Karen say at the crime scene. It's important, but it also is kind of open to interpretation. But physical evidence, data, things like that are less open to interpretation. I mean, there's no question that Karen arrived back at One Meadows at 12:36 because that's what time her phone connected to John's Wi-Fi. So that's pretty hard data.
Right.
And there's no question that the taillight pieces were connected to Karen's car. The police reassembled that taillight. The criminologists that work for the state police reassembled that taillight, and it's a match. So there's no innocent explanation for that unless you want to go down the idea of a conspiracy, this massive thing where they plucked a whole bunch of her taillights, shattered it up into
she's a master manipulator, John.
John's lawn. I think most people would consider that kind of absurd. So to me, that's hard evidence. But I looked into, was there time to do any of those things, to pry off taillight pieces and then put them in the lawn? And there wasn't. That was the key piece of evidence for me, looking at timelines. So I look at things like things that establish timelines in a very confident kind of way. Maybe not a sure way. Is there some fudging? Like, is it possible that Karen pulled into the driveway at 12:37 or 12:35? Data isn't that exact, but it's pretty close to exact. So I think it's pretty solid that Karen pulled into the driveway at 12:36. Give or take a few seconds or something like that, right? So that's a solid piece of data to me. We know that John's phone, according to the health app, moved for the last time at 12:32. That's a solid piece of data. Now, people say, well, how come you don't believe the stair climbing? Because there are parts of data that are open to interpretation. But the fact of the phone's moving, that's not open to interpretation. Nobody's questioning whether or not the phone was moving. The algorithm is trying to determine what your phone is doing at that moment.
Yeah.
And I've now, ironically, my sister was just telling me that more recently, and she's neutral on this case, but she was saying that her health app makes mistakes like that all the time. Where the other day she was in the car with her husband, and the health app had them that she was going up and down stairs, but they were actually driving. She wasn't looking at it because of this case. It just happened to happen that way. So data like that is open to interpretation. It's the algorithm in your phone is doing its best to interpret what you're doing based on a couple of different things, information that's going into it. But the fact of whether or not you're moving or not, that's really not open to interpretation. So either John,
Chris, and Julie, and we're reviewing Julie's testimony on Thursday night at 9, chat. So come on in for that. Those streams have been really popular. So I'm going to keep going with them. I've got a lot out of them. I watch the trial more than once every day of trial, at least twice every day, and all of the like the panel shows afterwards, the commentary, the recaps, and I'm finding it really helpful. So come on and buy. We'll watch Julie chew gum on the stand and say Bukaki, favorite, love. 10/10 would recommend.
dropped his phone there. And then for some reason, when they brought him out later, they put his body on top of the phone, which seems incredibly unlikely. Or he never went inside the house and his phone last moved at 12:32. That's just hard data. That's just hard data. It's not something that really is open to interpretation in the way that people think. So those are the things that I try to focus on. Look at that in timelines. I look at what time the tow truck got back to Canton with Karen's SUV, and it pulled into the driveway at 5:31. It pulled into the garage at 5:36. The garage door didn't close until 5:38.
Let's troll Plevin.
Now,
we're doing it.
That's the time when the troopers are already shoveling snow at the crime scene. And the area they searched, if you look at it on the video, is about the size of 2 parking spaces. They found the main piece at 12:45. Now, we could look at that and say, well, is that information fudged? Did Lieutenant O'Hara of the search team, is that true? Did somehow Michael Proctor deliberately fudge that time? But now we've had the trial and we've seen the testimony of Lieutenant O'Hara.
Yikes.
And he was extremely credible and very confident that he was describing things accurately. He said there was the 7th person of his team, of his CERT team, arrived at 5:41. I mean, or maybe it might have been 5:38. I forget. It was either 5:38 or 5:41, but essentially like that. And they had already started shoveling, but now they were shoveling roughly shoulder to shoulder, 7 of them, inside an area the size of 2 parking spaces. Very close. Excuse me, very close area. And also at the scene was Lieutenant Tully, their supervisor. And he mentioned there was another trooper there that he
like
didn't,
6 or 7 minutes.
So presumably there were 9 troopers there. There was no time for Michael Proctor or Buchanan or if they have some magical elf that they handed taillight pieces to and sent to the scene, there was no time for any human being to get into that scene unnoticed by all the people that were there. There was no way. So the only way there's a conspiracy of planting that evidence is if all these guys are in on it and nobody's speaking up.
I hope
and
not.
Lieutenant O'Hara, Lieutenant Tully, and I forget O'Hara, I think he was Lieutenant too. So Lieutenant O'Hara and Lieutenant Tully are lying. They lied under oath in a murder case, which
could go bad.
Means they're going to jail for a very long time if that turns out to be the case.
Nah, I can't.
So no, I don't believe that at all. I believe the timelines
for now
and the bricks and mortar data shows that Karen did this, and you can't get away from that. People want to get away from it for some reason, but it shows it indisputably. So people say, well, what about butt dials? Or what about this? Those are just odd things that come up in any case.
Wait. I'm sorry, Plevin.
You just can't get around them. I can't get around them.
Butt dials. Those are just odd things that come up in any case. I mean, maybe one occasionally, but how many? 19, Jennifer McCabe? Butt dials? Repeatedly? What about butt dials that are answered briefly, then returned with a butt dial? Plevin, sir. What does he say? He says evidence plus logic equals truth.
Around him, and logically.
Now he's reading. He's changing accounts on his phone so he can do another super chat from a different account.
So I'm trying not to follow the circus stuff that's going on in Canton right now. So I'm not.
You are the circus, Plevin.
Talk too much about it unless something solid and important comes out. You guys can let me know.
Kim. Sorry, trigger warning. Plevin on the screen. Jeez. Look, he's definitely changing his account again to do another super chat from another account.
So anyways, another thing I wanted to mention was, again, surviving the survivor. So when they invited me on
oh my goodness,
over a week ago, they told me they've been trying to get in touch with me for weeks. I don't know. I'm not hard to get in touch with. Then they invited me on. Then they canceled the show and gave me kind of a weak-ass reason that they were switching the subjects. Then apparently on that next show, Joel said something to the effect of, because he was getting messages from the mob complaining about something. He didn't say what, but I'm assuming it was me. And
yes.
So that's why he canceled that show. So when they sent me that cancellation,
I'm not a huge fan of. I'm not a huge fan of Surviving the Survivor, Joel STS these days. I used to be, but the fact that he cancelled Plevin, he's gone up in my estimation just a little, right? Just a little. All right, Plevy, let's keep going. little bit longer because this man is
So
ludicrous.
notice 2 hours before the show,
Sorry. Yikes.
I didn't really reply because I was
Do
suspicious.
better. Do
and
better.
I waited a couple of days. And a couple of days later, I said, okay, I'm going to reply. So I replied just simply. I said, I heard you guys were getting a lot of complaints about my appearing on the show. That was his assistant, Steve. Steve didn't reply to me. Now, the thing is it bothers me is Joel's mother, the name of the show.
Can attest, Anthony. A couple of weeks ago, I was out walking my 2 dogs, and one of them got under my feet and tripped me over. Needless to say, I did not fall on either knuckle. I fell surprisingly here. And ow, no knuckles, no Colin, no.
The show is Surviving the Survivor. His mother is a Holocaust survivor.
I don't know if we
If
need to hear
anybody
any
should
more of this.
understand
Wait,
the
yeah,
necessity
we do.
of standing up to a mob,
He's
it should
projecting
be a
Amber.
Holocaust survivor and her son. All right, I'm not trying to suggest. I'm just saying, if anybody should understand, it's somebody like that. All right, that you have to stand up to a mob. You have to stand up to groupthink.
Stacey,
So
we're
if it
going to
is
go
true that
there.
he canceled that show and the other 2 guests that were supposed to appear just because turtle riders were complaining about me and he didn't want to take the heat. If that turns out to be the truth, shame on him.
Shame on you.
Shame on him for not standing up to a
This is
mob.
so hard.
Isn't that what his show is supposed to be about?
Shame on you, Plevin.
It should be, right? If
Shame
you're not
on
going to
you,
stand up
Plevin.
to a mob,
Grab ass.
how can you ask other people to? How can you even talk about that terrible historical crime if you yourself don't have the guts to stand up to that mob? If you're canceling me because a bunch of people complained about me, what, you're worried about views? Is that the issue? You didn't want to lose some viewers because most of the people in your chat are free Karen Read people? Wow. Wow, my friends.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I don't follow your channel. If I'm wrong, please message me. Tell me you got it wrong. But nobody replied to me when I said that. This is where it sits now. The case is wrapping down. Nobody has reached out to me this week to say, we've rescheduled. Can you come back on? No. Now, I wasn't all that interested in going on your channel, Joel. The only reason I was willing to go on your channel.
I'm 1 quadrillion% going to DM Plevin after this and ask him on. Thoughts and prayers, Shorty. Thoughts and prayers. And Stacey, we'll watch a bit of the Coffin Devil one in a minute. He's just such a fool.
Despite the fact that I really didn't have time to.
Was
because there's a whole lot of stuff that he's debunking on that channel. You got this clown on there, Betero, who is misinforming the public.
So far behind the chat.
That stuff needs to be debunked. Imagine if this was the 1930s in radio, and the mob is doing things, saying things they shouldn't be in Germany. Someone needed to go on there and debunk those people.
We're debunking
Someone needs to go on your channel and debunk a lot of the nonsense that gets put out there. And I'm sorry if that doesn't sound nice, but this is what we're doing here. This is what me and the people associated with my channel, both in chat and the guests that come on here, we're all standing up to a vicious, often mindless mob.
Sorry, Ruthie. Sorry.
That's why
we're doing really well. Wait.
Say someone like Tuesday Gazette in California.
Oh, she's awful. Fuck, she's awful. She was one of the first people I blocked. She's awful. Ruthie, this is our emotional support chat, and we can do this together. We are using humor to diffuse our rage and our incredulity. It's strange incredulity, right? 100%. 100%. Oh, what a loser! You're a fucking loser! You're fatter than me. Everyone is Jill Daniels. Everyone.
Tuesday could have grifted on this. And she would have built up a huge following. She didn't. She knows
idiots.
she's going to take some heat by commenting from the other side, but she does. Because she's logical and cares about the truth.
Tuesday Gazette
obviously, we know Kate cares about the truth and has done more serious investigative work on this than anybody. We know Jen Coffindaffer has given up these opportunities too. She'd be huge now if she had taken the conspiracy side. Not that she's not huge, but she would be multiple times bigger.
Yeah.
She gave that up to tell the truth.
Here's the thing, though, Plevin. No.
People like Karen McCormick. Karen McCormick was somebody like
Plevin. The thing is with you guys, you aunties, you attic dwellers and people in Louisiana and whatever else we say. The reason why the Free Karen movement has grown, it's a groundswell, yeah, exponentially grown, is because most humans want to be a part of something amazing, yeah. Most humans look for the light and the truth and the feel good. So Plevin, you flipped so you could be a big mippled fish in a very small pond rather than being a nobody in the right side of the pond, yeah? On the other side of the dam. The divide is integrity.
Like me, who started out believing there might be a conspiracy because it seemed intriguing. But she followed the evidence and realized, no, there's not.
Just some guy in an attic, babe.
She also deserves a profile in courage because she's taken a tremendous amount of heat for that. Matt, her partner on their channel.
I'll cancel him. Can we cancel Plevin?
Like that, but same thing. He initially started out thinking there was a conspiracy, did some TikTok stuff, got huge, but then realized no, he's wrong. And a lot of people have, over time, as they follow the evidence, changed their minds. But it takes courage to do it.
I'm not your friend.
You have to stand up against the mob.
Let's be clear.
That's just the reality of this situation. It's very unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. I've given some thought to why is this case so popular? Why is it perceived in such a way? There's obviously a problem with the headlines, but to me, this is kind of careful how I say this.
Clowns in the chat. Clowns in the chat.
This case is kind of BLM for Caucasian people. There's a meme here that somehow hits people in their sweet spot.
I'm a
mob. In their sweet spot. They don't care about evidence.
Australia.
It resonates for some reason. And so that's what it's become. But they don't care about the evidence.
I don't think he knows.
They don't care about logic. They don't care about applying logic to the evidence. They don't. Because it's too appealing.
Absolutely.
For whatever reason.
Absolutely.
It hits it in their sweet spot.
Done. Come at me,
just
Plevin.
like the BLM did hit other
go.
people in their sweet spot for different reasons, understandable reasons. I'm not trying to diminish the reasons people have for feeling what they feel on things, but this has now become something that is irrational at this point. And it's been fed by social media, by a defense team that is willing to exploit that, and by grifters like Turtle Boy.
Me, Sean, I'm a grifter. I want to be a grifter. Can I be a grifter?
Young Jelly, Dylan, the Glarer.
Did he say me?
Little. I don't know how many others.
Me, say me, Plevin.
They're just trying to exploit this for views. They never ask questions from both sides in that kind of way. They just 100% all on the conspiracy train. I want
to be a grifter when I grow up. God damn it.
It's disturbing. It's disturbing. John DePietro feels
yikes,
confident in that the jury will get the right decision here based on the testimony of Jen McCabe, Kerry Roberts, and John's niece. He's been in court for much of this, and he feels very confident. So I hope he's right. Kevin Mahoney feels confident in it too. He's not in court, so for other reasons. I think he feels Kevin has a lot of confidence in the intelligence of juries. He has a lot of experience with juries, and he believes the evidence is very strong. I don't. People have asked me. So one of the things, will there be a rebuttal
clowns in the chat? I love you guys.
For the state on the canine. So because Dr. Russell, when she was allowed to testify, Judge Cannoni asked Lally how long the state would need to have a rebuttal expert, and he said a week. Now I don't know if that's scheduled. So if, let's say, the defense does rest their case tomorrow, will the state bring in a rebuttal expert for the canine? I think so. I don't know. I don't have any information on that. I'm just guessing how it might go, that they might consider it important enough to do that. I thought Dr. Russell's testimony was unusually weak for an expert, but that doesn't mean it didn't influence a juror, especially she certainly seemed qualified, at least once upon a time she was. But her testimony didn't seem honest to me. And would a jury pick that up? Hopefully jurors have enough common sense to understand that defense teams get these gun for hire experts, or there are people that just come out and want to insert themselves into the case. But there's so many other experts now talking about this finally on YouTube, canine experts that say, no, this is not how that bite would look. This is not how it would look from a mauling. It just wouldn't look that way. So hopefully they do bring forward that expert. Lucky Laughlin, he's a simple guy. I don't have any reason to think that he's not telling the truth. But he had his day. He was hero for a day yesterday. All day he was treated. They had t-shirts made. He was hero for a day. I believe he told the truth. I believe his testimony is completely not credible and easily debunked. I hope Lally did a good enough job doing that. David Dinetti asked Lucky, what was the last time he plowed the street? And because Lucky had said he had last plowed it 3 hours after 2:30. Or no, I'm sorry, 3:30. And so, in fact, I think even.
And actually, the Plevin moniker comes from Will, from the Glarer, as I understand it, because I had Will Glarer on my channel a couple of months ago. We had a great chat. Check that stream out if you haven't. Apparently, Kevin Lenihan came on to Will's channel, or was it the other way around? Either way, and kept calling him Bill. Am I right? Bill. So then Will started calling him Plevin, and it's just Mwah, chef's kiss, so perfect.
Even in previous testimony, Lucky had said that he last plowed it at 6:30. When I read,
Can I just also, oh, dirty pause. Pause game strong with me, Miss Shorty, yes. Let's just take a moment again to appreciate that Plevin is, well, he's actually wearing 2 shirts, I think. The top layer is a long sleeved, silky Nike button down. I'm not sure about that. At least it doesn't need ironing. It looks sweaty. I feel like Plevin probably smells like feet, no? Or dick cheese.
I was reading over the old testimony, but that's impossible because at 6:30 the street was blocked off. And thank you, Lou, I appreciate it. At 6:30 the street was blocked off because all the first responders were there, and so that street would have been blocked off till about.
I need to make those lists, Patricia.
So it's impossible for him to have plowed it at 6:30. He took, I don't know why Yanedi was taken by surprise on this. So when he asked, Yanedi thought he was going to say, he had already said 3 hours later. So that's 3 hours after 2:30 or after, I think it was 3:30 at that point. So that's why he thought he was going to come up with 6:30. But Lucky caught him by surprise and said 5:30. It was a huge opening for the prosecution that the prosecution didn't take advantage of. As soon as he said it, I was in chat. I was like, wow, you got to jump on this. But I think Lucky was telling the truth on that 5:30. I think it was accurate because if you look at the dashcam video of Officer Saraf at 6:08, and this is what I was looking for when I first saw that video, I was trying to see, is there a plowed snowbank? And there is. And it looks like it's maybe a foot.
Mia, maybe that's why he's got another shirt underneath. Or is that his dress shirt? Wait. I think maybe, okay, we've cracked the case. Also, Plevin just got another super chat. Fuck. He's got his, he's taken his clip-on tie off, but he's got his summation dress shirt underneath. So what he did is he pre-recorded his phenomenal, like, voice of reason closing arguments, whipped off the tie, tucked on his silky long sleeve Nike over the top, button down, full button down. That's definitely the shirt he was wearing before. Versatile. Outfit changes, Plevin. Yikes.
A 1.5 feet high and a 1.5 feet wide, something like that. Maybe 2 feet. Maybe 2 feet high, 2 feet wide. It's a small snowbank, but there is a snowbank. And within that, of course, was very detailed.
Hey, I'm old,
that was also described somewhat by Lieutenant O'Hara when he said we dug through the softer snow about 3 feet, and then we got to the harder snow underneath. That's the older snowbank.
I think so.
Well, that had to have happened before they found John. But it couldn't have been all that much before, because when you look at the ring video of Karen at 5:07 when she's pulling out, there's only about 2 inches of snow in the driveway. It's snowing hard, and it's about, if there's even 2 inches, it might even only be like 1.5 inches. But let's say 2 inches of snow in the driveway, and it's snowing hard. So it makes sense that Lucky, now you hit 2 inches, Lucky's going through the streets, and he plowed Fairview probably a short time after that, so about 5:30. Now, interestingly, if Lucky plowed the street at 5:30, who was heading, according to the state and according to video surveillance, who was heading in the direction of?
Not gonna lie, if I was gonna do a run through of Plevin's attic, I would probably 1,000,000,000% want the rattan shelves that are behind him there. I mean, I'd like to put some plants in there for him, but I think probably they'd die because there's no light in the attic, right?
Of 34 Fairview at that time, Karen Reed, who left a voicemail for John at 5:23. Karen Reed. So to me, it seems, in Lucky's confused mind, everybody, and I'm not trying to criticize him, everybody's going to be confused days or weeks later when you're testifying about this stuff. But to me, if Lucky saw a vehicle there,
yes,
I know it
God damn it, I want to grip
colored vehicle, but a lighter colored vehicle. But keep in mind, not only is he colorblind, he's being treated as a hero, and I think.
I'm totally joking. So I'm totally joking. But how can I be a proper grifter if you aren't throwing money my way? I'm joking. Don't send money. Send nudes. I mean, no nudes, no dick pics, no pictures of Plevin either. Ugh.
He knew he was going to be treated as a hero if he testified this way. Lucky knew. Okay, Lucky knew he was going to be seen by the mob as a hero. Doesn't mean he lied, but I think it affected his testimony. But if Lucky saw an SUV at 5:30 when it was pitch dark, who would he see? Who was heading in that direction? Karen Reed. We'll never be able to prove that. But it just looks like Lucky has a lot of confused things in his testimony. He's easily influenced. He wants to please. He wanted when private investigator Mikowski came to interview him, Lucky probably thought that was a cop, and he wanted to please him.
You guys are first.
And then as time
you are
went by,
so funny.
I love
this.
And he wanted to please the Karen Reed people.
Rattan, Wicca, yes.
He wanted to be popular and please people, and that's understandable, right? But that testimony is unreliable. That testimony is not just unreliable.
100%.
It doesn't in every single
100%.
case that I've ever looked at, and I'm sure there's people here that are a lot more experienced in this than me. But if you guys have looked deeply into any other true crime cases, you're always going to find. I have never found a case that we don't find this. You are always going to find witnesses that have testimony that does not match the possibility of the evidence. Doesn't match the evidence. It doesn't match. It's impossible. There's always testimony that ends up being impossible. Always.
Yes.
Every case.
From the Commonwealth.
And so this is why my rule has always been on this: is that any eyewitness testimony that is not backed up by other eyewitnesses or by physical evidence, I tend to put very low on as I'm weighing things. I put that very, very low.
I'd love to, Lady Di. I know Brandy does that. Are you a Brandy? Are you a 13th juror? Me, not so tech savvy. I'm sure I can do me some learning and spruce it up there, make it a bit jazzy. Put a bit of color in there. We could put a bit of I could put some of my special cheek stuff on Plevin's cheeks. Maybe I've got some nice Coco and Eve face tanning spray. We could around him, get him looking a little bit more healthy. But then he'd stand up and we'd see his posture and his stature and his physique, with all due respect, Plevin. But I mean, go for a walk every day or something. Yikes.
And I think the state police did that here with Lucky too, as they found out about it. And I think for good and obvious reasons. His testimony did change too. I went and looked it up.
Ew.
When he talked to Mikowski way back when, he testified that he didn't drive down Fairview when he saw the vehicle there. He was going down Cedar Crest. He didn't turn down the street because he didn't want to plow in the vehicle. So he kept going down Cedar Crest. That's what he said. But on the stand, he testified that he went down Cedar Crest and went around the vehicle.
No nudes.
Sorry, I just got
no dick pics. Sorry, I just got to change my account.
Let me take a look at it.
No, I got to change accounts so I can send myself a super chat. Thank you. Wait.
Let me check this, guys, and I'll let you know if it's.
It's nothing important, Plevin. Sorry, Joseph. Sorry. True. Hard. Yes.
This could be good. So let me pull this up and thank you. I won't mention who sent it, but thank you.
Did he just say I don't know who sent it, but thank you? It was me.
I'll be able to pull this up and you guys can see it too, anonymous. Hold on one second. This is live TV, right? So hold on 1 minute. Bear with me while I pull this up in case you guys will find this interesting too, because it does look interesting. All right.
Thanks, Kelly.
I'm just going to link it in.
Who hurt you, Plevin?
Okay,
Turtle boy hurt him. Oh, God.
That's as big as I can get it.
That's as big as I can get it. Clip it.
Off the screen. That might help.
Wait, that's as big as I can get it. Clip that shit. Plevin, be careful what words you utter, sir. In conjunction with Turd Ferguson's, hey, should we listen to a little bit of that song? And then, well, actually, wait, no, we're not doing documents with Plevin. It's not funny enough. I mean, it could be. But wait, let me just do this because it's cool. If you weren't here in the start and you haven't heard it, I'll play a bit of it. I maybe won't play the whole thing, but it's so cool.
Up in an attic, he likes to crawl. Always wrong with a dick so small. He's full of shit and upside down, full of lies, spin stories around. Oh, Plevin, he's a pervert. In that attic, taking off his shirt. Yellow cottage with a dick so tiny, spreading lies and being whiny. Plevin's attic, dark and dreary, never gives up on his theory. Peeking through the yellow curtain, a heart of ice, wrong but certain. Oh, Plevin, he's a pervert. In that attic, taking off his shirt. Yellow cottage with a dick so tiny, spreading lies and being whiny. Up in an attic, he likes to crawl. Always wrong with a dick so small. He's full of shit and upside down, full of lies, spin stories around. Oh, Plevin, he's a pervert. In that attic, taking off his shirt. Yellow cottage with a dick so tiny, spreading lies and being whiny.
So good, Turd. So good. I don't want to Plevin out the folks. That's going to be coming with a video soon. So hey, wait, let me find the comments. Chat, tell me which is, there's one with Coffin Daffer from today. It looks like it's just Coffin Daffer. I don't know if I want to watch her. Like I don't want to watch her, but we'll do a little bit. or How to Simp for a Killer. They're both from today. Here. Thank you so much for your super chat. Plev Nasty can't get more super chats than Miss Shorty. Yes. Tried to send nudes. Super chat doesn't support. Yeah. Thanks. Let me scroll down here. Scroll down. Chat. Yeah, it is a good song, isn't it? Ernie Birdie's dabbing. It's dabbing. He's one fry short of a Happy Meal, right? You tried. Right? It's a good bloody song, right? Shit is fucking hilarious. That beat though, it's pretty cool. I white girl dance so hard. I'm so 6 months off 50. No, not quite. 4th of July, my birthday is, and I'll be 50. There you go, trolls. Let's go with the doxing. Come at me, bro. Thanks, Patricia. It's been so good so far, so good. We'll watch a bit of the Coffin Alphabet chat. Tell me the first one. Thanks, Anthony. Amazing. I like thoughts and prayers, because we're just about to go double whammy. She's a fool. She's a fool. Coffin Doofus is awful. Here we go. Scrolling. AJ, I sing turd songs daily. I wake up in the middle of the night and turd songs are in my head. If you haven't already, give Turd Ferguson, Melissa Asylum, a subscribe. She is so cool. She wrote my intro song. And Adam Drives Helen, who is having a night off from moderating tonight. Happy night off, babe. Maybe end with the vid. Okay, Melissa, I'll see if I can pull it up. Yes. Wait, I'll do that. See if I can pull it up. Clip that too. What do we got here?
That I always love to hear from. So welcome everybody. This is a special segment I wanted to do on Delphi. I think most of you know that the Delphi case is sort of near and dear to my heart, if a case can be like that. Just from the standpoint
the simp
of
one.
these two little girls
Thank you.
this case for 2.5 years.
Okay. No, I just can't. This one. Okay. Yeah, this looks more like it. Yikes. As if anyone's sitting there waiting for 5 minutes before Plevin's ready to go live. Like, truly. There's no need for a 5-minute countdown, champ. Jesus. It's only half an hour. It's only half an hour long. Is this right? 52 seconds. God. Thoughts and prayers, chat. Thoughts and prayers. What am I doing here with my life? You all know regular shorties know I'm not great with this slider bar, but so far so good. I haven't even muted myself today, which is pretty impressive. All right, here we go. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Stay tuned. Yeah, we're tuned.
We have separation. Absolutely.
Okay, hey guys, good to see you. Always be checking. This is a surprise show.
Standing up to the
other day I
mob.
got contacted by Jen Coffindaffer, and she wanted to know if I want to come on today to talk about the Delphi case, which is jury selection began today, and the trial will begin in a few days. And so I said, sure. That's a case that I've studied a lot before, so I am very interested in the case, and I have a kind of interesting history with the case too. So let's begin though by going to let me bring up a little for the fun side of things. Getting a message, and I'm making sure it's not somebody telling me my mic is off.
Your Choda phone.
Oh no, it's actually Jen. Hold on one second. I gotta.
Oh, it's actually Jen.
So she can send me the link.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second.
Where's the question? What question? Yeah. She was just. She worked in. She wasn't like a proper like.
Okay. Hopefully I typed that right.
Hopefully I changed my account properly.
All right. So I wanted to bring in this photo, just having a little bit of fun. Not sure if I can make this bigger. This was something that I plugged in.
Oh, Ernie Birdie, he's giving you a run for his money.
Got jelly down the bottom here, just to make Terry happy.
But he does yucky, awful ones. Prison Turtle. That's. I mean, Aiden came out looking even better, in my opinion, and has since. I mean, whatever, Plevin. As if you'd be doing an AI image, supposedly representing or depicting Prison Turtle when you look like you look, Plevin. Have a long, hard look at yourself, champ.
And although Turtle's t-shirt was actually a tank top, so you can't sue me, Turtle. I'm not saying this is you. Leave him up for a moment. All right. Interesting reaction. So last Friday, we get the files of the new motions, the new filings in the Karen Reed case.
And they're really a wowzer, right? So the state is saying they have an independent data expert who claims that he feels it's very likely that they will be able to recover the data from Karen's car. Now, a modern car like that has a GPS chip in it. And so they feel that they've documented where there's indications that there's a lot more data in there than they actually recovered. So they feel very confident that they will get, among other things, GPS data from all of her car's travels with timestamps. So we'll know exactly where she was, at least by GPS coordinates.
Always with the 2 shirts.
Each second will come with a timestamp. Now, if there's a GPS coordinate that shows where her car was.
It must be hot and stuffy up in the attic. Oh, look, he's got some different lighting there. He's got something in the background. What is that? Glowing. Maybe he saw my channel and saw my lights and thought, oh, I like that vibe.
Let's say her car was exactly on that spot near John's body, let's say 5 or 6 feet before it, maybe 10 feet before it, at 12:32 and say 11 seconds. It's going to have that timestamp and it's going to have that location.
I think yes.
That's game over. Now, it's not game over on second degree, but it's game over that Karen did this. And for anybody left out there that still has a shred of sanity in the Free Karen Read movement, there's no longer any reason. There really isn't any reason now to accuse anybody else of being part of a conspiracy. But that's it. If you're clinging to it at that point, you might as well be clinging to the Odin theory, as we'll see coming up in the Delphi murders case that's going to be put forward by the defense. You're getting into Looney Tunes land. Now, you're already close there now, because the vehicle data as it stands correlates perfectly with the data on John's phone to show that Karen struck a smaller object within seconds of when John's phone last moved at 12:32 and 16 seconds. So it's not reasonable anymore to think that John was killed in the house. But if you won't have to do any correlating if they're able to get that GPS data from the car, as they seem very confident they can. Now, here's the interesting thing. I put this out last Friday, but these were publicly available documents. And to my knowledge, and maybe I've missed it, I don't follow their channels that closely, but I do glance
at salty about Turtle Boy.
Has Turtle covered this?
Has he?
Has Young Jelly covered this?
Young Jelly.
Has Brian LTL covered this? Has Sean covered this? Has the Glera covered this? Has anybody, that little guy Dylan out in Scotland?
Young Jelly. He hates
anybody out there
so much.
Even willing to tell their audience what potentially looms there? But like I said, there's something interesting. Karen certainly knows, right? And so my information from someone who is still in the Free Karen Read inner circle, believes she's innocent and talks to Karen, her reaction was, Lorena says that Melanie and Bettero did. I mean, he's a lawyer. How could he not cover it? So I'd be curious to hear what they said. But none of these other guys want to. And actually, Melanie's some kind of a lawyer too, I believe.
Melanie's some kind of a lawyer, Plevin.
But Karen's reaction to this, think about this, okay?
Oh, you're a joke.
Her reaction was
what a clown.
Said to be from good sources. I'm not worried about this because I think it's bullshit, and I don't think they're going to get any new data. That's essentially what she said. That it's all smoke and mirrors. That's all designed to make her nervous. But I ask you this. If you're innocent, wouldn't your reaction be, great, thank God, you finally will have that data? Because it will show that I'm innocent. That wasn't her reaction. Doesn't that tell any sane, normal person? Now, there are people out there who are going to say, oh, sure, you don't have any connections inside Free Karen Read. You got nothing. Okay, fine. You don't have to believe me. Go look at their social media. Go look at all the minions that regularly put out word from Karen's site, such as Melanie Little, such as Nurse Kim now.
Jason, oh, fuck off. Don't say, get Nurse Kim's name out of your mouth, bitch. Him, bitch, not Nurse Kim, bitch. I will cut you, Plevin. Stay away from Kim. She's my girl. Definitely going to review Trooper Garino's testimony probably this weekend sometime. I'm on night shifts at the moment, so I'm able to do some weeknight streams, but I'm back to day shifts next week. So I'm going to try and pack as many lives in as possible before I have to go back to just 4 or 7 lives a weekend.
Whoever she uses now, obviously Olivia, the people that are her minions, that she gives them what to say.
No, she doesn't. Plevin, you're a fool. Meanwhile, Kate Peter, she gets told what to say by Fatty Morrissey, right? And now she's grown her own mold, and she's her own thing, I think. Yuck.
Say, they manage her media campaign. They manage her PR campaign for her.
No, we don't. Where's my money? Wait.
You don't see any of them saying, yes, Karen has got this, and she's thrilled because now she thinks this will exonerate.
No, shut up, Plevin. I can't with this man. I'm starting to get frustrated. Minions are adorable, AJ. Minions are adorable. I mean, I'm still waiting on my check from Karen. Rude. Hey, while I've got you here, while I think of it, yikes. Wait, let me just stop sharing screen for a second. BRB, coming. And if someone, I think Steph and a few other people midweek have emailed me. Let me just stop screen for a second. We'll come back to Plevin in a sec. I've got these free Karen Read stickers. They're vinyl stickers, good quality, beautiful color. I designed them myself. There's about 120 left. If you've emailed me in the last couple of days with your receipt for your donation to Karen's Defense Fund, I have been wild busy, wicked busy even, and I will get back to you and get them posted out. What's today? Yeah, this week. I'll do it this afternoon. For me, this afternoon after this stream, I'll do my housekeeping there. But if you'd like one of these limited edition, there's about 120 of them left. You can stick them on your laptop, like Grant Smith Ellis, on your car, on your tumbler, your drink bottle. Make it into a magnet. All you need to do is make a donation to Karen's Defense Fund, a minimum of $10. $10 to $49 will get you one. If you want 2 stickers, it's a donation of $50 to $99, and $100 or more donation will get you 3 stickers. All you need to do is screenshot your receipt and send me a copy of your receipt via email, which is it's missshorty@gmail.com. Amber's popping the link to Karen's Defense Fund now. There is also her Venmo or PayPal, so anything goes. As long as you screenshot your receipt, DM me on Twitter or Facebook, or not Instagram. I have got Instagram, but I never look there. Or email me and I will. Oh, good. Second time was a charm. GP Dog Drill. USPS is a shocker, and I absolutely trust my helpers, but I feel like some people have had to wait a very long time for their sticker. Others, the sticker never arrived, and GP Dog Drill emailed me and said it hadn't come, so we resent it out. So it's not a grift, it's not a scam. I don't touch the money. It's actually cost me a fair bit to run this one. But if you would like something to show for your support of Karen Read, this is the go. So let's do it. Help a shorty out. I just thought they'd fly out the door and I'd be not having to do the logistics of this for so long. So yes, it's a good cause and it's a cool sticker, and that's all. Let's continue to listen to Plevin because we love Plevin. How to simp for a simp. How to simp. Okay, Plevin.
Exonerate her. That wasn't her reaction. She's not some kind of a criminal genius, Karen Read. Now, she does occasionally watch my show, and certainly if she doesn't, people are going to tell her. So I would expect that tomorrow you will see Karen Read, her minions, will put out the reaction like I'm saying right now. Something that some variation of it. They're going to say, great. All right. She's going to say, thank God, because we expect this information to exonerate me. It's going to prove that I wasn't there. Right? So she'll do that tomorrow. That's my prediction right here. Take it to the bank. Take it to the bank. That's what she's going to do tomorrow. And if she doesn't, it's like, what does it take for people to wake up? I mean, what does it take for you to wake up when there's an indication that new evidence is going to show exactly where you were throughout all that?
Yeah, that was evidence that we saw in the trial, Plevin. 1236 John's Wi-Fi. Anyone? Voicemail, garage door closing, high heels clicking on the floor. Plevin? Another dirty pause for Plev. Sorry, champ. Get rid of your big turtle. It's ugly and stupid. Like you, Plevin.
For all that period, at any given time, if you're innocent, aren't you thrilled about that? Aren't you thrilled about that? Wouldn't it be like, for instance, let's say this isn't the case, but let's say somebody came out and said, wow, there's actually new video has emerged from across the street. They've been able to recover it, and they think we'll be able to see what happened. Wouldn't Karen say, great, awesome? If she's innocent, wouldn't she say, awesome? That's going to show that I didn't do it. She never says stuff like that because she knows she did it. Okay, and there's no excuse for people that don't understand this at this point. And as far as I'm concerned, Aiden Kearney does know it. He's not an idiot. He's certainly no genius. None of us are. There are no geniuses.
Wow.
But he's smart enough to know that Karen did this.
Plevin, he's no idiot, but he's certainly no genius. I mean, if that's not projecting, except only the second half. Plevin, you're so jealous of Aiden. Aiden's a rock star. Oh my God, what did you guys do in counting? Who wrecked it? Somebody wrecked counting in my Discord.
But yet he's out there accusing innocent people of murder all the time.
Is he?
And saying that they're the ones that are simping for murders. Trying to dox people's address, trying to go after Carrie Lama's work address. He's the one simping for a murderer, and he knows it. He knows she's guilty. He knows she did this. And what's going to happen? Let's say they do succeed in getting this data. Now, I don't know when we'll learn of it. But once this data comes out, then Karen has to be looking for plea negotiations if they're able to get this data. I mean, it's going to show that her car was going in reverse seconds before John last moved at 12:32:16. It's certainly going to show that. There's enough
in the evidence now that I know that that's what it's going to show. I would bet anything. I would definitely bet a limb on it. There's no doubt in my mind, just based on the other information that's there, that that's what it's going to show. Now, will it show that, now regarding second degree, is there information that might show that? Yes. Now, I'm not sure what it's going to show. And I guess if you held a gun to my head, I would say it won't show as much as people think. But it could.
So Plevin in his amazing, phenomenal, outstanding closing arguments when it was back to live Plevin with his tie taken off and his slippery Nike button down on over the top of his dress shirt. He said that second degree wouldn't the jury, that there wasn't enough, and now he's saying there is enough. Okay, Plevy, which is it?
So, for instance, let's say she backs. It'll show her GPS points, and it shows that she stops going in reverse somewhere around the driveway, and then sits there for a short amount of time because she got home, by 12:36. So she sits there a short amount of time.
I see everything.
And then drives past John, and continues on to, I think it's Chapin Street, right? And tries to get and goes home that way. That was one of the possible routes that she could have gone home. If it shows her driving by John, it doesn't prove that she saw John, but it makes it more likely, right? And then if it shows that at 5:23 or somewhere in that time period, she returns to the scene of the crime. Again, that still doesn't prove that if all she does is drive down Fairview Street, that doesn't show that she knew. But if she stops, and that GPS is accurate by second. So if it's able to show that she stops for 5, 6, 10 seconds at the location where John's body was, again, that still doesn't prove that she saw John's body. But when you combine that with the testimony of Kerry Roberts and Jen McCabe, it starts getting really damn close to second degree, because Kerry very powerfully testified that when Karen jumped out of the car, as far as she could tell, even when he said there he is, she's looking and she just sees Karen running to a mound of snow. So John was buried. Again, does that prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Karen went back at 5:23 and knew that this had happened? I don't know, but it's getting damn close if that turns out to be the case, especially where you look at other actions that she did, such as telling Kerry Roberts at 5 a.m. that John's dead. Karen never calls the police at any of these times. So you're starting to you're dancing very close to that line of malicious intent when she at some point knows that John's in trouble and does not take any action to try to save him. We don't know when. So the lead paramedic told Trooper Proctor, I think at about quarter.
I think, the key cycles that the way they were testified to, were debunked, not in court because it was very confusing, but when you actually wind that back, right, those key cycles didn't take into account that they testified to, didn't take into account the tow truck driver and the testing in the car park of the MSP, whatever it just did. Super Paul.
Or 7, that he thought John had a 10% chance of survival. Well, what was his chance at 5 a.m.? Presumably it was better than 10%, right? So that was a time that Karen could have acted, and she didn't. So it's getting very close. And the more you get close to second degree decisions that she made that could have resulted in John's death, then you really get this pressure to make some kind of a plea deal.
I mean, Juliana Nagel noticed the bread and the peanut butter, right? So
there's no way the state is going to make any kind of a deal that doesn't allow for her, that's not going to result in her going to prison for a significant time. There's no way. Another interesting thing, I want to get to Delphi in a minute before in about 15 minutes, we're going to switch over to Jen Coffin-Daffer's channel, and there is another guest on there. I think he's a lawyer. And so I met Jen.
I think he's a lawyer, unlike you, Plebby.
Sweetheart, very nice person, very pleasant to be around. And I had her on my channel for the trial, and she's a very intelligent person with a lot of insights about law enforcement. So none of us are going to agree about everything, right? So I see a couple of people in chat. I mean, Jen's not going to agree with me on everything. I don't agree with her on everything. That's not a very fun world. That's not very productive. That's an echo chamber. So, but Jen is she brings a lot.
Thanks for reminding me, gorgeous.
I'm happy to go on her show. Another interesting thing. So, what we know from good sources is that how the feds got involved in this case is that
Carrie, right?
Maybe just Unity at this point. No, Jackson had just signed up with it, so it might have been Jackson too. Went into the offices of Josh Levy, who was then first U.S. attorney, so second in command under Rachel Rollins at that time. He's now U.S. attorney, acting U.S. attorney. So when they got there, we don't know what happened, but somehow they convinced the first U.S. attorney.
Turd, we need to talk. Turd, we need to talk. I'm sure I'll see you in like 5 minutes everywhere we are on every platform on the internet, and we can talk about this because that sounds very much like we need to talk.
U.S. attorney to launch an investigation. Now, the next step in that process is automatically going to be he calls in the FBI. I mean, they work for him essentially, and he calls him in and he says, "Okay, we need to get to the bottom of this. We need to start an investigation here to see if there's any there. That's the important thing. Is there a there? Is there something worth opening an official investigation? Is there something
Is there enough there to justify launching, sending out subpoenas? Which we know by December they sent out subpoenas to 7 people for the communications. They sent out subpoenas to Apple.
Just incorrigible.
At least there could have been others too. We
Awful.
just know that 7 were sent to Apple. At some point around that time too, they were also setting up the grand jury or getting ready, launching subpoenas for the grand jury. We don't know. We know the grand jury, I think, began maybe in April of 2023, the federal grand jury. So there was a process there that went fairly quickly from that.
You look up echo chamber in the dictionary and there is just a picture of inside Plevin's head, right?
Initial meeting to ordering a grand jury. But the way the process would work, as I said, was Josh Levy would take this meeting, because anybody would like, any defense attorney would like to be able to walk into the office of the U.S. attorney and say, my client was framed. You got to prove it to him, right? You got to show enough evidence to warrant an investigation, to predicate an investigation. The next step is you go to the FBI. What does the FBI do? If they're in a normal investigation, the very first person they're going to visit is Karen Reed. It's the defendant who walked into the office and made the claim that she's entirely factually innocent and is being framed.
No, Robin.
However, the indications are that never happened. The indications are that there's no 302 and that the FBI never walked in and interviewed Karen Reed. Now, we don't know that for sure, but that seems to be the indications here. If the FBI never went and interviewed Karen Reed, this investigation is bogus from the get-go. I mean, there's so many other signs of it, right? So they, by the summer of 2023, they were already starting to cancel some of the grand jury appearances scheduled, such as Lucky Lawford. And I believe maybe there was a second appearance for Colin that was scheduled that got canceled. I don't know. There was some other cancellations. So at this point, they had all the communications and they knew there was no conspiracy. Certainly by November of 2023, they knew there was no conspiracy. And without a conspiracy, Karen did it. There's no middle ground here. This is not like there's some other killer that they just didn't identify. So that didn't happen. Yet in November, they're on the phone with Karen, the U.S. attorney at that point. He's now U.S. attorney. Is on the phone with Karen's lawyers and advising that they delay the trial. That's for that to be going on at that point, highly improper, just among many other things. So
highly improper.
I've only got about 6, 7, 8 minutes
highly
left before I'll be trying to
improper.
switch over. And so let's talk about Delphi. This is a fascinating case.
I actually don't want to hear.
So I guess we should just briefly touch on the doxing. So apparently Turtle Boy has been doxing the jury foreman.
Righto, mate. He hasn't,
information about him.
Fuck off.
And maybe a little clever, not releasing his name, but having somebody else in his comments release the name. Make no mistake, that's a total move, all right, because he understands what he's charged with here. But and apparently indicating that this guy had joined anti-Karen channels or social media things on Twitter or whatever after the trial. So that, for instance, with Twitter, you could look at the guy's name, and if you find him on Twitter, you can see who he's following. And
Plevin is not a parody. He's a joke, but he's not a parody. This is real life. This is people watch this. I mean, we're watching this, but it's a roast, right? This is real. This people there are people out there. Plevin is out there with his nipples and his moves and his giant dick microphone moves on the ground, literally, and his Shodaphone here.
And let's say he's following me. I'm not saying he is or somebody like that, but I'm not anti-Karen, believe it or not. I'm just pro-evidence. I'm pro-truth. And there's nothing wrong with this guy after the trial trying to go and find out more information, truthful information, which you're not going to get from their channels. Again, they didn't tell you. If Turtle doesn't tell you, just yet another sign. If Turtle doesn't tell you about what happened last Friday, those filings, he's not telling you the truth. He doesn't give a shit if his audience is informed. He doesn't give a shit.
Scott.
Just like he didn't tell them about the GPS last September when that came out that showed that John's phone never went out, or the tiny pieces of taillight pieces that were found inside John's clothes.
Someone in Plevin's chat, in his closing arguments chat, sent a super chat, and the first name was Scott Robertson, and my brain saw Scott and went, oh my God, Scott McGinnis is sending Plevin super chats. Don't worry. There has been no slander on your name, Scott. I would never. You are the GOAT. You are amazing. You are loved. You are not a Plevin lover.
Cool. He doesn't tell him anything if it doesn't fit the narrative. He just does. He'll ignore it. And his merry band of turtle riders just go on in ignorant bliss. They don't care. They don't care. They don't hold against. They don't. But they're not going there for truth. They're going there to be part of something. That's what witch hunt is. You're not really after the truth.
I mean, Plevin knows. Just know. He wouldn't know the truth if it slapped him in his fucking dick face. Maybe he did know the truth, but he's chosen to avert his gaze, avert his eyes, and go for clicks and views with his sock accounts. I think I could speak for all of us, whether you're a turtle rider or not, whether you like what Aidan Carney does and has done and continues to do, or his methods. But we are drawn to this movement, and the movement is ever growing. The support for Karen, the outrage over the corruption that's happening in Canton, in Norfolk County, and in Massachusetts is exponentially growing. We are outraged, and Plevin, you are outrageous.
People get swept up in witch hunts for all kinds of reasons, but the people that are leading the witch hunt, they're doing it for themselves. All right, so the Delphi case, this is Delphi, Indiana. This is the trial of Richard.
Oh, okay, no, that's going to be a no for me.
So they started jury selection today.
It's one thing to hear what Plevin has to say about.
They plan to seat 14.
This, I don't want to. I do not want to know what he has to say about Delphi. I just don't. Wild case, right, Amber? When does that trial start? Soon, Amber, yeah? Very soon, very soon. Pro-truth, yeah, lol, Plevin. All right, so we've been going for 2 hours. I think 2 hours of Plevin is more than any of us probably needed, but it was a roast we had to have. I feel stupider for having spent the time with Plev. Thanks, Galaxy Girl. I think though, chat, you have made this bearable. Thank you so much. We're going to do definitely Julie Albert's We Need to Talk testimony review on Thursday night at 9. Probably going to do a spooky dooky stream with the Syndicate, Oblivious Benson, Auntie Deb, and Adam Drives Helen. Probably on Wednesday night at 9. We're going to look into some stuff, some Bridgewater wildness, which is right, Canton adjacent, right? Spooky shit's gone down in Canton. Spooky shit's gone down in Massachusetts for a long time. I've had a personal idea, me from the other side of the planet, there's got to be more to it. And if you're not into that woo-woo stuff, it's got a bit of it'll have a bit of a Halloween vibe, yeah. The Canton Triangle, crazy shit's happened there over the years, or over the decades, over the centuries. So we're going to do a bit of a fun stream looking into that on, I think, Wednesday night at 9. I might do Trooper Garino tomorrow night. Don't clip that. I might review Trooper Garino's testimony tomorrow night because, more and more is coming out, being debunked, impeached, his testimony. So maybe, probably, almost certainly tomorrow at 9 we'll do that review. Don't forget the sticker. If you're on my Twitter, it's pinned to my my Twitter profile. Okay. I snuck into Plevin's chat and got hit. Hang on, I'm taking my earbuds out because it'll mute for a second, but I know it's going to mute. I didn't even mute myself once today. Unmuted. I'm a professional. I snuck into Plevin's chat and got hit with a membership gift. Oh, corn poke. Oh my God, how embarrassing. And then you'll get a reminder in a month saying, hey, your gifted membership's about to expire. Would you like to renew it? That's going to be a no from me, but thanks, YouTube. Lol. 90% of Americans must be turtle riders. And I'm a turtle roo over here. Did someone say dick face? Oh, yeah, that was me. Me, dick face. Dickhead. I have been accused all day of stuff. None of it was me. Scott, who were they? I will cut a bitch. I will cut a bitch for you, Scott McGuinness. If you haven't seen the superstar, all-star panel extraordinaire, that's Scott, Aussie Insider, Nurse Kim, Lovey, and Abby Benoit. I shouldn't know how to say her last name. Abby, Aussie Insider's sidekick. Check it out. Amazing discussion. Fun, but informative. Really contemporary in what we spoke about. It was just a really well pulled together. It was coincidental, but that Scott had been in court for Jill Daniels and Jim Ferris's arraignment, and Ozzy had just spoken to Christy, the whistleblower. Ozzy and Abby had, and Nurse Kim had just spoken to Betterow. So it was just a fortuitous turn of events that I happened to pull together a panel of such amazing people. So with such good insights, and it was a really fun stream. I really enjoyed it. So thank you, Scott. His book will end up in the 1 cent store in being at a Goodwill store. You're talking about Joel STS, or does Plevin have a book? Yikes. Poor Corn Pope. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you. Hello, friends. Hi, MD. Yes. Okay. Jury selection began today. Okay. It's not televised though, right? Prince Lover. Yikes.
Scott McGinnis by who? Scott, do you have a Twitter? Do you have Twitter? I tried to tag you on things and I obviously didn't try very hard. Anyway, if you do, you're a stealth tweeter. Okay, Turd says, from now on, Scott McGinnis will be the good Scott. Michael Scott is great Scott, and Melanie's other mod Scott is okay Scott. Kate Peter is vile. Plevin is a total douche, and Colin was in the house. I don't know who you are or what your handle was before, but I'm so here for that. Love, 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 love. Sarah or Nicole had better start talking, right? We all got a little dumber. We're going to have to do something to raise our vibration and rejuvenate our brain cells after that. I don't know if watching Trooper Garrido's testimony will be that vitamin infusion to our brains. Yes, jury selection started today. Okay. Thank you so much to my beautiful mods, Law Nerd Amber, Ernie Birdie, Turd Ferguson. Thank you for the song, Turd. I don't know. I'm too lunacy and like I'm too me. I'm too shorty. I'm too much of a fucking delight to pull your video up, but we'll do it tomorrow night, okay? But Turd wrote the small and tiny Plevin roast. It just keeps getting better, Turd. So good. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you all for coming. Make sure you hit the like chat on your way out if you haven't already. Drop a comment in the comment section after the stream is ended if you could. It helps. It helps get this stream out into the algorithm. Share it on your socials. It was fun. Yeah, KP. Ugh, she should be in prison. She should be in jail. She should have had her bail revoked many times. I wonder why. I wonder what powers that be could be preventing her from. Wonder what she's giving the Commonwealth in return for her leniency. Weird. They all said the Free Current Read supporters sure have been quiet since the filing last week. Have we? I've been like more. Not on Twitter so much. I'm too fucking busy to tweet, but yes. Candy, yes. Thank you, Lisa, mods and shorties. Great show, great chat. Thank you, everybody. Guess these fools don't get out of the closet much. No, or the attic, right? Thanks, Karen. Thanks for being here. Thank you. Love the stickers. Yes. And I will get onto my emails this afternoon. It's 2:10 here for me. Before I go to work, I will do that. Plevin is watching this right now. Yes. Thanks, Sharon. Oh, my glasses. They're just off Amazon, right? Just off Amazon. Like I need proper prescription glasses, but they're like $20. I've ordered a whole bunch more coming any day now. So Australian Amazon, but I'm pretty sure the ones I just ordered are coming from the States, right? Hi, Plevin. Yes, thank you so much, Joseph. Poor Corn Pope. Thoughts and prayers. Okay, his live was private. Whose live? Plevin wouldn't do anything in private except maybe cry. Yes, Ozzy and Abby are fantastic. It's awful. Yes. This was a good stream tonight. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for being here. And Emma, you can copy me. I'm like a fashion icon. I'm like an old lady fashion icon. Oh, James, good to see you, doll. How was your stream tonight? Sorry I missed it. There's not enough hours in the day for all of us streamers to be able to catch each other's lives, right? All right. Jason, don't be mad. He does suck, but don't be mad. We got this. He's got to know he's crazy. Yes. Oh, my God. Anyway, side note. I'm a mobile pet groomer. I saw the van. You may be around. I'll take you some fun places. Oh, Ashley. Yes. Too many Scots. Unless it's Scott McGinnis and then there's not enough Scott McGinnis to go around. I dated a Scott once. Oh my goodness. Okay, he's jealous. I'm so far behind on chat. Sorry, chat. I'll put them on. I'll put them on as we go out. I'm a professional. Love your faces. Thank you for the super chats, the gifted memberships, the memberships. Mwah. See you tomorrow night. Woo. Pirate radio host hangs by the Oregon coast. smile. He knew love from 8,000 miles away. 13,000 kilometers, never got it away. Half the world apart, but united in the heart. Both are uniquely complex, bravely seeking what's next. It would be an easier goal to maintain the status quo, but sincere in their beliefs, for us to find our love and peace. They've been streaming for a while, and they know they make us smile. Streaming for a while, and they know they make us smile. He knew love from 8,000 miles away. 13,000 kilometers, never gotten away. Half the world apart, but united in the heart. Both are uniquely complex, bravely seeking what's